This is the Trumbull Eagle Network.
Live from the Pitt Center at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, it's Trumbull Eagles basketball on 10 and TCTV. Tonight, your Trumbull Eagles face off against the St. Joe's Cadets in an FCAC basketball doubleheader. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jeff Alterman. Joining me tonight is CJ Emanuelson, and one time back on the 10 Network and TCTV is Brendan Moore. Guys, thanks so much for making the trip out on this Wednesday night for this exciting game.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chef. I mean, this is the game of the year when it comes right down to it, because it is the crosstown rivalry. You are talking about St. Joe's, Trumbull, both teams having a fantastic year, and they are always coming out for each other on this game. They have strong interior players. They have great perimeter game. They both have fantastic records and are fighting for the top of the FCAC. I am, after last year, extremely excited to see where this game goes.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled to be here. Definitely have a great matchup here and one of the best rivalries definitely in all of Connecticut.
We're going to get a couple of our pregame interviews going right now. Jeff Alterman's heading over to talk to head coach Steve Tobich and hear about his strategies for tonight's game.
All right, they're doing a quick captain's meeting with Coach Tobich and the captains, and then we'll grab him in just a moment before the introductions, the national anthem, and special pregame announcements they're going to be making for the special event.
Definitely. And, you know, Jeff, just looking at the gym, we do a lot of the middle school games between Madison and Hillcrest, and we get to see some special players there. Tonight, we have them on the court in their first couple of years in high school. You know, we've got some freshmen and sophomores that are contributing here for both sides, both the Trumbull Eagles and the St. Joseph Cadets.
And Coach Tobich brings his freshmen in as regular contributors throughout the entire game. And like you were saying, the Hillcrest girls basketball team are the defending three-time league champion. So that group of girls has all made their way up. So they're all freshmen, sophomores, juniors on the Trumbull team. So they have all that talent for 3 years. They're going to be having for one more year as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, the continuity that they have is so impressive. These girls come up running systems in middle school, and then they're getting into the high school system that's just a whole nother notch up with Coach Tobich.
All right, I see Coach Tobich on the side. We'll see if we can grab him quickly. All right, Coach. Big-time environment in the Pitt Center here tonight. What did you say to the team on the way out of the locker room to make sure those butterflies get settled and they come out playing as good as we know they can?
Just do what we always do and what we practice. Don't do anything different. That's it.
What's the game plan for the first half?
You got to get out on the shooters and pressure their guards. They got a very good three-point shooting team.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. We'll see you at the half.
You know, the other thing is he definitely has a great three-point shooting team as well. So when it comes down to getting going in the beginning of this game, I think we're going to have to look to the returners to see what they're bringing right away. And, you know, the other night we got to see the boys team play, and they did a great job of playing their game. So, as he said, they're going to have to come out playing their game to start out with, calm, cool, and collected. And I look forward to seeing the same out of St. Joe's, too.
We can hear regular Trumbull Girls PA announcer Steve Spillane with the pregame. Player introductions are going to be on the video board inside the pit center. We need to get one of these boards over at Trumbull High.
I was just thinking the same thing. That's a beautiful addition.
So they put the starters got to introduce themselves up on the video board, but then they're introduced the traditional way as well. Decent sized black hole packing into the pit center here. I'm sure it'll get more filled as the evening goes on.
This game will definitely fill in. You know, it's the crosstown rivalry game. Everyone starts to get here. A couple of people, you know we're getting here early. We know the parking is going to be difficult, but I would say by the time we get through the beginning of this game, we're going to see those stands fill in big time.
And Brenda was saying he essentially parked over at Trumbull High and walked over for this one. Anyone who's gone to a game at the pit center knows that parking is not fun here.
Definitely. And, some familiar faces from last year for this game for St. Joe's. They come back and they fought so hard last year. And, as we were talking about pregame, both coaches are not afraid to use every player on their bench. Well, guess what? Olivia Atkins, who we've seen the last couple of years, is in the starting lineup for St. Joe's. And here comes the jump between Trumbull and St. Joe's. Controlled by Trumbull. Bring it out to the top of the key.
St. Joe's comes out in man-to-man.
Great movement by Trumbull right here into the corner. Great fake up to the top of the key again. Working the left side of the basketball court right now is Trumbull. Picked up a dribble, looking for somebody right now. Curling around right now. Kylie Manuel, jump shot off the rim. Fought for. It's going to go off the Trumbull out of bounds. Cadet ball.
Trumbull setting up in their pressure, full court.
Ball in on the baseline here as the Cadets move it forward. It looks like a man-to-man pickup. Michaela Diamond controlling the ball right now. Down to the right-hand corner goes the ball. Dribble drive into the middle of the lane, finding no room, and it looks like we have a blocking foul. Yep, blocking foul Trumbull. And I guess it was in the act of shooting, so we're going to have two shots here for Lily Recupero. First one is off the mark. And the second on the way is good. No press here for St. Joe's. We're going straight into the offense for Trumbull. Ball out at the top left of the key. Looking for their underneath players right now. Swinging the ball over to the left wing. Back out top. Dribbled. Michaela Diamond with ball in hand. Driving to the center of the lane. Great look. Pass inside. Blocked shot by McGillicuddy. Fought for on the floor. And we have St. Joe's ball.
Trumbull picks up again, full court. Looks like about token man.
As soon as the ball's in, they started dropping. And we have Michaela Diamond picking up half court right away. St. Joe's and Trumbull both like to run that weave at the top, trying to look for something underneath. Shot on the way from the corner. Great shot there by number 12, Olivia Atkins. Michaela Diamond with the ball at the top of the key. Great pump fake and drive there by Vitola. Off her leg, out of bounds. St. Joe's is going to have the ball back. Atkins will bring the ball up now. Picked up immediately by McGillicuddy. Weave back to Atkins at the top of the key. Michaela Diamond out front in the ball. Drive left, stop at the top of the key, popped. Off the backboard, just shy. Ball underneath, rebound, St. Joe's. Put back, no good. And we're going to have the ball going the other way. Looks like St. Joe's foul on number 20.
Look to Trumbull to kind of settle down and get into things here. They set some more, get into some of the more of their sets.
Ball out of the great drive into the center and kick for Trumbull. Off the iron goes Vitola. Ball coming the other way for the Cadets. Atkins pushes the issue, finds the underneath and a block by Vitola. Denying the hoop. Well, the Cadets ball underneath the basket. St. Joe's finds the ball underneath, is able to block again by Vitola. There's two right there, right away. Ball underneath Diamond, kick back out top to Vitola. Nope, two. All right, that was a cluster of bodies that I was not ready for. St. Joe slows it down now. We have the ball in Atkins' hand at the top of the key. She's looking for her lane to be able to drive and set something up. Great drive and pass underneath for another bucket. Chloe Johnson swings it over to Manuel. Back in, here comes the drive left. Runs into a double team. Ball out of bounds. It's going to be Trumbull ball on the baseline. That was Kylie Manuel making that dribble drive down the side.
Trumbull getting pretty aggressive there and heading toward the basket for a two-shot foul.
Visner's first is good. Now we have McGillicuddy in for Vitola. We have both Manuels on the floor. Michaela Diamond, second one on the way is good. And then Carly Johnson rounds out the fifth for Trumbull. St. Joe's inbounds. Trumbull is picking up again. Looking for something left, nothing there. Quickly swings the ball over to the right-hand wing. Back out to the top of the key. Drive. Great poke away by Johnson. Bringing the ball back down is Trumbull. Looking for something right here. Misner up and in.
That is the kind of pace that Trumbull wants to play. Up and down.
St. Joe's slowing down their offense now. Setting those high screens, looking for some cutters. Ball back out to the top of the key. Shot on the way is good. We have a player down at the moment. We're going to just hold our time for the moment. You know, right now in the game, we've got, it's kind of, the teams are slowing the pace down. They're kind of looking for the open cutters. They're trying to get into their own rhythm right now. And, you know, we've seen St. Joe's wants to push the issue on offense. They've got some big bodies. They've got some good rebounds already. And Trumbull's got some great blocks already from Vitola here on some great defense. So, you know, the game started as we figured. It's going to be a tight game one way or the other. It's a rivalry game. It's 8-4 right now in the first quarter with 4:11 left.
So far, St. Joe's doing a really good job taking advantage of some of the rolls to the basket off their screens and gotten some really good looks. Trumbull has had some success kind of getting the ball up the floor and pushing the issue a little bit for their buckets as well.
Right now we have our player back up and heading over to the bench. So we're going to reset right now. And it will be Trumbull ball out under their own basket. Trumbull doing a great job moving the ball around the top of the key right now. Looking for those open cutters. Carly Johnson with the ball in hand at the moment. Driving to the right-hand side. Back over to Manuel. To the corner. To Charlotte Manuel, who goes in up high off the glass. Cadet rebound. They're going to keep that pace a little bit slower right now, which seems to be favoring them. Trumbull picks up right at the top of the key. Drive left is Atkins. Feed over to the far corner. Three on the way is good. Trumbull immediately tries to get back into the offensive zone. We'll see if they can answer here. Drive right. Taken down the lane by Manuel. Up off the glass again, a little too hard. Cadets have the ball underneath the basket. Pushing the issue is Atkins, looking for an open player. Now they're going to slow it back down again. 3 minutes left in the corner. Back over to Atkins. Swung back to the top of the key to Recupero. Recupero feeds it over to the far side. Open corner shot is not going to happen. Picked up immediately over there in the corner by the Trumbull defense. Drive right up off the glass. No good. Trumbull with the rebound, and they're looking to move the ball up the court right now. Misner all the way down to Manuel. Manuel gets bumped. It is going to be Trumbull ball on the baseline.
Trumbull looking to see if they can push the issue a little bit every single time they get possession. They want to play fast for sure.
So we're going to have ball underneath right now for Charlotte Manuel. In the game we have Johnson, we have Escobar, we have Manuel, and we have Michaela Diamond back in. Ball across to Johnson. Johnson out to Michaela Diamond again. Into Escobar, jump shot from the elbow. Off the glass, rebound. St. Joe's looking to push down right now. They have the numbers. Stop at the foul line, feed to number 14, who puts in another. Michaela Diamond gets the ball down the court quickly. Looking for something in the corner quickly is Misner. Misner floater off the iron. Controlled by St. Joe's. Trumbull is back right now. St. Joe's trying to push the ball down. Back out to the top of the key. Drive right up off the glass again. Too hard. Rebound Trumbull. Looking for an outlet right now. Taking it to the glass with the and one is Charlotte Manuel. She's going to go to the line to complete the old school three-point play.
Did a great job in transition there, getting up to Charlotte. They was able to keep the defender right on her back and finish.
A couple of subs now for the Cadets and for the Eagles. Get some fresh legs out on the floor. It is 13-6 currently. St. Joe's, 1:51 left in the quarter. And the shot is good. Picked up full court again are the Cadets. Trumbull trying to get something here. Turnover. And they do. Long errant pass into the stands. So they will take the ball back under their own basket with 1:44 left.
Trumbull really pushing the issue there on defense, trying to get a turnover, and got exactly what they needed there.
Carly Johnson with the ball in hand, bringing it down. Looks over to the corner to Escobar. Escobar looking underneath. Finds Manuel. Manuel with the jump shot. Piece of it gotten by St. Joe's, and they control the ball. Walking it up the court now is Carey. Feeds over to the right-hand wing. Dribble, drive, right. Feeds underneath. Jump shot, no good. Off the back iron. Manuel with the rebound. Tries to feed it into Diamond, but gets knocked away by St. Joe's. St. Joe's coming the other way. They'll slow it down with 1 minute left in the quarter. Over to the right wing. Looking back out to the top. Over to the left wing. Thought about a three-pointer. Driving left to the baseline. No dice. Ball is blocked. St. Joe's out of bounds, and it will go back to Trumbull. 45 seconds left. Michaela Diamond has the ball. She is met man-to-man right out top. Feeds Escobar at the top of the key. Escobar thinks about the shot. Does. Off the iron and rebounded by St. Joe's. Bringing it down with 28 seconds left. Three on the way. Too short, and it goes. Oh, they're going to say there was a piece on that one, so the ball is going to stay with St. Joe's, it looks like. Yep, it looks like there was a piece, so that one got blocked. It'll be St. Joe's ball under the basket. .24 seconds left to play. Feed it into the right-hand corner. Thought about the shot, tried to get it into the post, and Trumbull knocks the ball away. Michaela Diamond with a great defensive play there. Manuel still in control, in the lane with two on her, tries the floater, gets blocked. St. Joe's has the ball with 9 seconds left, gets it down the court, knocked out of bounds by Trumbull. 6 seconds on the clock now. Ball on the sideline for St. Joe's. They get the ball into their own backcourt. Picked up immediately by Trumbull. Atkins breaks by, feeds over to the left-hand corner. 1 second left, shot gets flung up late. It is no good. We are going to take it over to Mr. Alterman right now, the interview in the corner.
All right, thanks, guys. I have Kevin Butler with me, the athletic director at St. Joe's. Another great event here at Sacred Heart. We were here last year as well. Tell us about what some of the planning entails to pull off such a huge event like this.
It's a wonderful event. It's our second year here supporting pancreatic cancer and Project Purple. Wonderful that Sacred Heart University is willing to host both of us for both games tonight. It's our second year here, and our ultimate goal is to raise awareness for the cause and to raise a substantial amount of funds to help support the cause.
And tell us about, when you came in this game tipped, the fans on both sides were going crazy from the start. Tell us what's your perspective on the atmosphere in the gym tonight.
It's electric. I think it's probably one of the best events we do all year, and working with Mr. King and all the Trumbull staff, it's just great to bring both schools together for a great community event. The student sections come out really supporting all the local communities, and seeing some of the youth teams here today, it's just a fun event for everybody involved.
Thanks so much, and I got to say hi to Mikey Butler. Hopefully he's watching back at home, and good luck to the cadets.
Thanks again for having us.
All right, back over to you guys.
All right, so 13-7 in the first quarter. Trumbull started very slow, but got on their game as it went, and here we have Trumbull ball starting it out with Michaela Diamond at the top of the key.
St. Joe's in man-to-man, not switching screens. They go inside tight.
Turnaround jump shot is off the iron. Johnson had a great turnaround there. They had not been able to get up very many shots in the paint in that first quarter, so hopefully they'll be able to capitalize on it here. Moving the ball around the top of the key of the cadets. They're driving right-hand side right now on the wing. Moving the ball out to the top of the key again. And Michaela Diamond picks up on defense right away. Quick feed pass underneath. Lots of steps going on under there. Ball is bouncing around, comes out to St. Joe's on the perimeter. Atkins with the shot on the way, off the iron. St. Joe's recovers. Feed Atkins, left hand off the glass and in.
St. Joe's playing at really the pace they want to play, and something that's been effective for them so far.
Johnson with the ball at the top of the key, back over to Diamond. Feeding Vitola. Vitola over to Manuel. Manuel back out to Diamond. Ooh, ball is tipped away by St. Joe's. It is controlled at the moment by St. Joe's. Jump ball. And it will remain in St. Joe's possession. It looks like a couple of fresh legs in there for Trumbull again, and some new defensive pickups here. They appear to be starting in a 1-3-1.
You got that right. And change it up a little bit with Coach Tobish here.
It definitely is a 1-3-1. They're going to look to trap and keep those shots on the outside. And speaking of that, deep corner shot from St. Joe's. Rebound St. Joe's. Feed and another bucket underneath. Molly Carey with that finish.
Cadets have had some really nice cuts to the basket that have finished in layups.
Manuel to McGillicuddy, back to McGillicuddy. Going into the center of the lane. Feeds out to the side to Manuel. Off the iron. It is just closed at the moment for Trumbull. St. Joe's recovers and is heading back down the court. Feeds it off to the left-hand wing. Big skip pass over to the right wing. The hot hand has it at the moment. Now Atkins back at the top. Drives left. Trying to get past Manuel and does. Left hand off the backboard for Atkins. Big outlet pass down for Trumbull to the other end. High off the glass goes McGillicuddy. Gets it back out to the three-point line. We have it in Manuel's hands. Kylie Manuel goes to the line for two. Big pace change here for Trumbull. Trumbull is now trying to really push the issue, and they've been running players onto the court so that they keep up with the Cadets. We have our first shot on the way for Kylie Manuel. Off the back iron.
Trumbull start off a little bit slow from in terms of their jump shooting. It'll be interesting to see if they keep going inside, attacking the basket to keep getting to that foul line.
Absolutely. Second one on the way is good. And we have St. Joe's ball out underneath.
Got a 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure here by Trumbull. Probably just trying to slow things down a little bit. Try to make him make a mistake.
Got a tip on that one, and they do come away with the steal. Driving the hoop is Misner, up off the iron. It's still closed, but she gets her own rebound and puts it in. Timeout St. Joe's. Great fight for the ball there, and you were absolutely right. Trumbull is trying to push that ball underneath. You know, it's been really cold for them from the outside for right now. So you saw that change. They went underneath. They got a couple of buckets quick, and now St. Joe's wants to regroup. Score is 19-10 with 5:25 left in the second quarter.
You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember 2 years ago when the roles were sort of reversed, when St. Joe's came in as a top 5 ranked team, Trumbull number 3 this year. Trumbull was unranked as St. Joe's is this year, and Trumbull with several freshmen who are juniors on the team right now, Carly Johnston, Kylie Manuel, stuck it to St. Joe's and ended up getting the win. So Trumbull's going to have to make some adjustments to make sure history doesn't repeat itself from 2 years ago.
For sure.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, as expected, you're not playing in your own gym. Not every outside shot is falling right now for either team. So they have both decided to get in under the hoop. Good movement of the ball for St. Joe's off of that inbound. And now they are back into their offense. Trumbull picks back up in the man-to-man. Ball down to the right corner. Escobar picks up immediately. Michaela Diamond fronting red in the, oh, almost a steal for Trumbull. Ball in the corner, Atkins driving. Gets stopped by Escobar, and it is a travel. Trumbull ball out underneath. Michaela Diamond bringing the ball up. Looks over to the right-hand side. Ball swung all the way around to the left-hand side. Johnson driving left right now. Escobar back out of top. Ball knocked away by St. Joe's. And it's going to go to St. Joe's off of Trumbull's hand.
Coach Tobish here switching up his pressure. 2-2-1 there. Was 1-2-1-1 before.
St. Joe's two in the backcourt to try and get the ball across. Stolen by Manuel. Charlotte Manuel's now looking for an open player. Trying to get the feet underneath. Gets it all the way across. And we have a big three-pointer deep from Misner. Manuel gets the rebound. Tries to find Diamond out top. St. Joe's on the ground for the ball. It is wrapped up. And it is going to stay Trumbull ball. Diamond underneath to inbound the ball. All the way around comes Johnson. Jump shot. Good. And St. Joe's bringing that ball back up. Great step between by the guard from St. Joe's. Lost the handle on the ball. It looks like it was knocked away by Trumbull. So it'll stay St. Joe's ball down in their offensive end. It was a great step through drive by Molly Carey. Now looking for someone on the baseline is Molly Carey. Gets the ball into the right-hand corner and back out to the top. Atkins is driving left. Kicks the ball back out. Second drive coming in. Open three-pointer from the corner off the rim. St. Joe's crashes, but Michaela Diamond comes away with the ball. It's one-on-one right now. She goes to the hoop, gets the bucket, and she's going to the line.
Diamond did a great job there, pushing the envelope for sure, create the contact, and was able to finish.
Both teams are matching each other very well with speed right now. And as per usual, Coach Tobish is using hockey lines to run rolls on and off. Shot on the way to off the back iron, controlled by the Cadets. Atkins brings the ball across, met right there at half court. Trumbull matches up outside the three-point line, three on the way, rebound, Diamond comes away with it, starts pushing it up the court. Good step between. Feed down into the corner goes Diamond. Ball into Misner in the center of the lane, feeds down underneath Emmanuel, back out to the corner. Fahey off the rim, rebound, St. Joe's thrown away. Trumbull comes up with the ball though. Driving baseline right now, up off the bottom. St. Joe's controls. They're going to slow it down now. Cadets at the top of the key. 3 minutes left on the clock. Moves the ball over to the right-hand side. Dribble up to the top of the key and around. Slows down the shooters at the top of the key. Ball over to the far left corner. Shot on the way. Three-pointer is good. Drive by Misner, up and in through traffic. Great movement there by Misner. Trying to get another steal here is Trumbull. Ball is all the way down to the far end. Kelly made the drive from midcourt, went to the rim, gets fouled, and she's going to put herself on the line for two.
You see the Cadets there doing a nice job getting back to what was making them successful in the first quarter there, putting the ball on the deck, trying to get the ball to the rim and getting to that foul line.
And we have Carey on the line for two. First one falls. Second one on the way is too hard, off the rim, but controlled by the Cadets. Back to Carey. Carey back over to Jacques and taken away by Trumbull. Up comes Johnson, feeds it down to Manuel. Up off the glass and in. Picking up immediately is Trumbull, trying to slow them down again. They get the ball across half court. St. Joe's is driving left. Stops and pops off the back iron. Michaela Diamond coming down with a rebound. St. Joe's ties her up. It will be St. Joe's ball. Trying to inbound underneath his carry. Gets the ball over to Jocks. Back out to top of the key. Swings around. Attempted drive left is stopped. Manuel picking up ball at the top on the right-hand wing now. Drive left. Up. Swatted away. Great block there by Vitola. Johnson's got the ball in hand coming down the right side. Looking for someone. Misner's got the ball. Diamond left side. 3 off the back iron. Great rebound there by Vitola. Shot on the way by Johnson. No good. Back up by Charlotte Manuel off the rim, but Misner came away with the rebound. Johnson has the ball. Trying to clear the lane to try and get something going. Swings it back over to Misner. Misner drives baseline, cuts in. Up off the glass too hard. Fought for off of St. Joe's. It's going to be Trumbull ball underneath.
So Trumbull still trying to find that outside shot and still trying to pound it down inside though with some of these good, really good drives. Coming to a good stop, getting good looks.
Diamond has the ball to inbound underneath. Looking for someone, gets it out to the top to Charlotte Manuel, who drives immediately. Looked like an open field tackle. Ball goes off of St. Joe's, and it will be Trumbull ball again underneath. Refs letting them play a little bit. The girls are playing a great game of basketball tonight. Johnson back out to top to Manuel, over to Diamond. Diamond over to the corner to Misner. Misner drives, up, float in the lane, rebound. Got her on a rebound, put it back up. She's going to go to the line for 2.
Misner's been doing a great job getting to the basket here. It's been really, in the second quarter, her going, getting to a balanced finish and getting herself to that foul line.
First one is good. Yeah, Misner is definitely a workhorse on this team. She gets rebounds, great assists, moves the ball, does a little bit of everything. Watching her from middle school till now has been quite incredible. Always a gamer. Second one is short, and St. Joe's comes up with the ball. Dropping back into defense is Trumbull. 50 seconds left on the clock, 23-19 St. Joe's. Atkins with the ball, kicks it over to the left wing. Moving it back over to the right wing. 3-pointer on the way. It is good. Aaron Jocks again. That is another 3-pointer. Trumbull with the ball in hand. 30 seconds left. Diamond drives left. Kicks over to the corner. Misner's got a 3 on the way. Rattles out. Rebound. Trumbull. Great feed for Misner. Blocked by St. Joe's, and St. Joe's is going to run it down. 14 left. Drive all the way as Atkins gets the contact, and she'll go to the line for 2 with 11 seconds left.
Cadets have had a lot of success really trying to get that shoulder and head down and get to that basket.
And the first one is good. You can clearly see their thought process was to really drive the ball down the floor as quick as possible. Initially, they started out a little bit slow. That didn't work, and they started picking up points when they started driving the lane. Second one is good for Atkins as well. 11 seconds left. Trumbull with the ball in hand. Johnson has the ball on the left wing. Looking for a pick and pop. The ball out top to Fahey. Fahey pops from the foul line off the front iron. So our score at the halftime is 28-19. St. Joe's is leading right now. we are going to go straight to you, Jeff Alterman.
All right, guys, we got Coach Tobish here. Cadets came out playing really aggressive in this game. Every time you seemed to close the gap, they were able to pull away. What kind of adjustments do you need to make for the second half?
Yes, St. Joe's did a great job. They really took it to us. We have to get more pressure on their guards, and we got to be able to finish plays on offense.
What was something you saw that was working well for Trumbull that you can build on?
I thought we got some clean looks. I thought we were getting the ball to the basket. We just got to take our time and finish layups.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. We'll see you after the game. Back to you guys.
I mean, that was a very strong first half for both teams. You know, St. Joe's is definitely trying to impose their will with their guards on the Trumbull defense, and so far they've had success getting to that rim.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Really a lot of physical, tough play out there from both teams. Right toward the end there, you saw the momentum shift a little bit toward Trumbull. They were playing at the pace they wanted to play at, but St. Joe's did a great job kind of weathering that storm. And you know what they've been doing real well is just being able to get the ball to the basket, really kind of forcing the issue a little bit. It'd be interesting to see if Trumbull in the second half and do a little better job keeping people in front of them.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, as Coach Tobish told us, they're going to try and control those guards, and hopefully they can get some more buckets on their own in transition.
All right, we'll take a quick break for the half, let you guys catch their breath, and we'll be back with the second half from the Pitt Center at Sacred Heart after this.
Hello, this is Coach Tobish, head coach of the Trumbull Lady Eagles girls basketball team. This is 10, the Trumbull Eagle Network.
And you are listening to 10, the Trumbull.
And welcome back to Trumbull Eagles basketball on 10 and TCTV. This is Jeff Alterman, CJ Manuelson, and Brendan Moore with you. Guys, Trumbull's going to have to make some adjustments, whether it's on offense, defense, or both, to get back into this. Every time they started creeping close, St. Joe's went right back out up front and to take control once again. What do you think they need to do to try to reel the lead in?
Well, Brendan, as you pointed out, Trumbull really needed to try and get to the rim and try and make something happen underneath because their jump shots just weren't falling. And once they did, they started to change the momentum a little bit there. So I'm really hoping that Trumbull will go back to that and, maybe we'll see some more shots starting to fall for them.
Sure, and you usually want to try to see if you can work inside out and, that really give it a nice kind of rhythm and flow going, and then you'll get your jump shooters going from the outside. We talked about this at halftime, how different it is to shoot in an arena for both teams, and you can see that kind of struggle a little bit playing in Division I stadium at the moment. So, getting the ball inside and getting that ball kicked back out was probably a great place to start for Trumbull.
And, as Coach Tobish said, they've got to slow down the guards. They played smothering defense against Greenwich and came out with a big win there. And, that's the best way to describe what they did to Greenwich. They just did not let them play their game. And I think St. Joe's has gotten off to a quick start because their guards are so fast. And when they're allowed to run from midcourt all the way in without getting challenged, that's going to be a little bit tough to slow down. So I would definitely look to see some changes here from Coach Tobish, slowing that ball down before it gets to the three-point line as we've seen in the past. Hopefully get some counterattacks because they had some great steals, but just could not finish at the other end.
Yeah, Trumbull's really going to have to improve here in the second half of their half-court defense for sure, and I think they probably will to make some adjustments. Coach really good at doing it at halftime. One thing that Trumbull struggled with a little bit, and they've been great with all year, is getting points from their turnovers, and playing that way. And St. Joe's done a really good job of overall handling the press and handling the pressure and really getting to the rim and forcing the issue.
Well, and Atkins has been a machine for St. Joe's from the three-point line, twos, driving the lane, going to the line, hitting their foul shots. And for Trumbull, it's been Manuel and Misner, the two of them just going at it. So right here, I would expect them to do the same thing, really come out storming, and I would definitely expect Johnson and Diamond to step up. And here we go with the second half. We have ball back in for Trumbull on offense right now. Down underneath goes Johnson, up off the glass, a little bit too hard. Tapped out of bounds. It's going to go to St. Joe's off of Trumbull.
See Trumbull making a concerted effort to go inside there to Carly. Had a good look, just missed it.
Picking up at half court is Trumbull, slowing down those guards right there. Trying to get him in a trap on the sideline. Down into the corner goes St. Joe's. Back out to the top to Atkins. Atkins trying to drive left, can't find anything. Swings the ball around to the top right. Moving right is St. Joe's, looking down to the corner. Jocks has the ball in hand, back out to Atkins at the top. Drives left, gets met by Diamond at the box. Johnston on ball right now. Ball out to the top of the key for St. Joe's. Swings it left, back to the right. Goes St. Joe's, 3 on the shot clock. Shot on the way for Jocks, off the rim. Trumbull controls.
A really good defensive possession right there for Trumbull.
Oh, long feed from Diamond off the fingertips of Vitola and out of bounds. It'll be St. Joe's ball. Great attempt at pushing the pace right there for Trumbull.
Trumbull in 2-2-1, 3/4 court pressure. Trying to force the Cadets into a mistake.
Man, they do. St. Joe's throws the ball away, trying to break that press. It'll be Trumbull ball on the sideline right here in front of us.
I like to get involved in the game and pass the ball back to the players when I can.
Time with the ball, dribbling right. Back across to Manuel. Almost taken away by St. Joe's, but back in Manuel's hands. Johnson with the ball in the corner, looking to drive baseline, met there. Manuel with the ball on the left wing. Looking for somebody underneath, drives, kicks it over, swing over to the corner. Shot on the way, off the iron, goes Vitola. St. Joe's comes away with the ball, is met at half court and trapped. Ball squeaks through, gets over to the right-hand wing. Jocks picks up a dribble, Diamond all over her at the perimeter. St. Joe's resetting their offense now. Ball swings to the left, shot on the way, long 3, goes out of bounds off of the Cadets, and it will be Trumbull ball.
I'd like to see Trumbull get into some of their sets here for sure and make the Cadets really work on defense.
Swinging the ball around the top of the key is Trumbull right now. Back and forth between Manuel and Vitola. Looking over to Johnson now. Controls the ball on the right wing. Michaela dives down the center of the key. Johnson passes the ball back out to the top, trying to get something going. A takeaway for St. Joe's turns into a foul for St. Joe's as Trumbull comes back out with the ball. Good defense there by St. Joe's. They are getting their hands up on the Trumbull offense right now and denying the ball underneath. Misner with ball in hand out of bounds. Ball into Vitola now. Driving right, feeds the ball over to Manuel. And they're gonna call it travel, even though it could have been a trip.
Looked like she kind of undercut her there, but they went with the travel call.
I've seen guys go to the penalty box in hockey for less. Ball back out here for St. Joe's. Coming down the left wing. Atkins picks up her dribble, feeds down to the corner, immediately trapped there by Trumbull. Trying to swing the ball back all the way to the right corner is St. Joe's. Shot blocked in the corner. St. Joe's on the ground for the ball. Timeout St. Joe's while they had control.
So Trumbull going to the half-court trap there with a little 1-2-2, trying to trap the corners and so on. A little bit tough sometimes in a Division I arena with the big court. They were able to get their hands on a couple passes in a row there.
You know, this is the tenacity that we would expect from this crosstown rivalry. The defense has picked up. The offense, everybody's looking to drive right now. Haven't gotten a whole lot of shots off, but we've had some great defensive play and some really good movement on offense on both ends so far.
Yeah, really good physical defense being played by both teams. You know, really up in people's faces. You know, it makes it hard to handle the ball sometimes.
Score is 28-19 right now in the third quarter. It's 5:26 on the clock. It is St. Joe's ball over on the sideline in front of their bench. Trumbull is dropping back, still picking up man-to-man, but based on what they've been doing, are going to be looking to trap. Quick skip pass over to the far corner to St. Joe's. Ball at the top of the key, swinging over to the left-hand side. Looking underneath, but not finding anything. Quick feed pass, looks for the give and go, but does not happen. Dribble drive, goes down the middle of the lane, and we're going to have a foul on Trumbull, which is going to put Julia Del Rey on the line.
St. Joe's off the ball cuts have just been fantastic. Anytime they've gotten a post touch, they've done a really nice job by the guards cutting to the basket, which has kind of opened things up for the post players to make their move.
Absolutely, and there has not been anyone shutting that down yet. First one is good for Julia Delray. Trumbull shuffles a little bit on the key for the rebound, and Delray will have her second right now. Off the iron hard. Kicked around. Trumbull comes down with a diamond. Another rebound. Atkins is trying to stay with her. Diamond slows it down. Kicks it over to Johnson. Johnson looking for a cutter. Down to the corner to Manuel. Manuel over to Diamond. Diamond spins. And they're going to call it travel. It is St. Joe's ball, and Trumbull is picking up in their press again.
Trumbull had success early in the first half with this 2-2-1. Let's see if they do it again.
St. Joe's quickly breaks, gets the ball all the way down underneath the basket. Good deflection there by Misner to keep them from getting the ball into the low post. Gillicuddy comes back in, and Manuel goes back to the bench. St. Joe's inbounds the ball at the top of the key to Jacques. Drives left, trying to get around Misner. Kicks down to the corner. Spin move isn't working. Escobar has got her locked down. Pick and roll works again. Gets the ball to the far corner to Atkins. Atkins, three on the way, off the iron. Diamond comes down with another rebound.
A tough shooting night so far for both teams.
Quickly swings the ball down to the corner. Misner finds McGillicuddy. The ball is still up. She's got it left hand off the glass. The Cadets bring the ball down, swinging it between the right and left wings right now, trying to find something underneath. Dribble drive into the center, kick down to the left-hand corner. Three-pointer is on the way, off the back iron. And again, Diamond comes down with the ball. It is 3-on-2 right now. She's going to take it all the way. And they are going to get an offensive foul on Diamond. And it will be St. Joe's ball.
Pretty tough call there. I think that could have gone either way. Definitely 50-50. Big-time collision right around the second notch there on the foul line.
Definitely tough as they're moving that quickly down the court. St. Joe's ball out under their basket. Trumbull dropped all the way back down into defense. 29-21 with 3:49 on the clock. Picks up just over half court right now. Manuel forcing left. Ball comes over to the left-hand key. Atkins tries to get a feed underneath. Great steal by Johnson. Manuel has the ball in hand. Atkins coming behind her. Gets around to the left-hand side. McGillicuddy with ball in hand. It's the ball to back to the top of the key. Down to the corners, Johnson. Three-pointer on the way. Too long, but rebound Trumbull. McGillicuddy came up with that one. Fahey with ball in hand right now. Looking to make something happen. Finds Manuel underneath. Manuel, one-handed snag, puts it up off the rim. And here we have going for two again.
Trumbull going back to what they had some success with in the first half, really trying to get to the basket. Nice backdoor cut right there by Charlotte, getting the ball up on the rim through contact.
First one is short. And second one on the way here is good. Trumbull picks up full court right away. Still with that trapping press. St. Joe's has two wide open deep, which they just were able to find. Long pass to the corner. Jump shot is good from the corner.
St. Joe's able to break the press pretty easily there, and for an outside jumper.
Trumbull gets the ball down quickly, up with Misner, going to the line again. Misner takes it tough to the rim.
had a lot of success with Misner going to the rim. A lot of good things have happened for Trumbull when she gets in there. Just stay balanced, make sure you can try to finish through contact.
First one is off the iron, no good. Second one rattles around and falls for her. Again, picking up in that full court press. St. Joe's errant pass down the court. It is going to be Trumbull ball.
Trumbull was in the full court man jump there, where they're trying to jump the first pass and try to rotate behind it. We're able to force an errant pass there.
Kylie Manuel back on the court, handling the ball. Ball over to Misner on the right wing. Looking to drive baseline goes Misner. Feed underneath to Manuel. Three-pointer on the way. Rattles out for Trumbull, but fought for underneath. It is going to be St. Joe's ball.
I do like that inside out, though, by Trumbull. Misner was able to get it to the middle, kick out to the backside for the wing. Okay, this is definitely the shot they want to take there. It'll eventually fall.
Absolutely. Full court press again for Trumbull. Tries the quick trap. Ball gets out to the left sideline. Caught along the sideline is St. Joe's. Tries to throw it off their leg, and they do. St. Joe's ball right here in front of the table. Good trap there by Trumbull. Just couldn't get the leg out of the way in time. St. Joe's controls the ball at the top of the key. Trumbull picking up man-to-man. Actually, it looks like they went back to the 1-3-1. Looking for those traps is Trumbull right now. Swinging the ball around to St. Joe's. Feet underneath for an easy two. Trumbull moving the ball to the right-hand side right now. Swinging it back to the left. Over to Johnson. Johnson thinking about a three. Still with ball in hand at the top of the key. Misner looks. Johnson thinking about the three again. Trying to set something else up on offense right now. Drives right to the hoop. Floater no good off the rim. St. Joe's comes away with it. Atkins is going to force the issue. Driving down the left-hand side. Slows it down, kicks it back to the top of the key. Long three-pointer on the way is good. Recupero from way downtown. Johnson over to Misner now. Misner trying to answer with a three of her own. Off the iron. Rebound Trumbull. And a foul on St. Joe's. McGillicuddy got underneath and got that great rebound right there. And we have McGillicuddy on the line for two. First one is short. Second one on the way is good. Trumbull again picks up in the full court press, trying to slow them down any way they can. Great trap, but Atkins was able to get the ball across. Three-pointer off the top of the backboard for St. Joe's. Misner comes away with it. It's a 3-on-2 with a blocking foul in the middle of the lane, so that's going to put Misner on the line for two. Transition game for Trumbull. He's been picking up a little bit here.
Yeah, Misner is just doing a great job over and over again. St. Joe's having a hard time keeping her out of the paint.
It looks like it is not going to be a shooting foul. Yes, it is. Just confirmed with the book. So right now we have 51.5 left in the third quarter. 36-24. St. Joe's lead. Misner on the line, shooting two. First one rattles out.
Trumbull's going to have to start taking advantage of these shots at some point.
Absolutely. Second one, no good. A little too hard off the backboard. St. Joe's looking to push it. 46 seconds on the clock. Atkins drives left, little loose, gets it up off the backboard and in.
Cadets getting back to what they were doing in the first half, really getting the ball to the basket.
Absolutely. Misner, quick drive and dish. Ball out top to Fahey now. Swings it back over to Misner. Misner looking underneath, trying to find somebody open. Drives left, up off the glass. No good. Manuel gets the rebound. Looking to drive baseline. Met up with St. Joe's player, knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Trumbull ball with 15 on the clock.
A lot of really good physical defense from the Cadets. Trumbull seems to be getting a little bit stagnant in their offense. Got to get a little bit more movement going for sure. Like I said, trying to get the ball inside a little bit and see if we can get those kickouts, get those shots to start falling.
Johnson with the ball on the baseline. Out to Manuel at the top of the key. Manuel driving right. Turns left. Going to the basket. Up off the glass and good. What a fight there for Charlotte Manuel to get that bucket. Trying to trap is Trumbull right at midcourt. Ball underneath to St. Joe's. The clock is going to run out. Tough fight right there. St. Joe's had a lot of momentum on that part. We're going to head now over to Jeff Alterman with Mike King.
All right, thanks, guys. I have Trumbull Athletic Director Mike King here. Now, Mike, the fundraiser for tonight is Project Purple. We know a lot of planning went into that. Tell us a little something about what we're raising money for. What does Project Purple do?
Project Purple does a wonderful job of helping families who have a family member that has pancreatic cancer, providing support, whether that's emotional, financial. They do a lot in terms of research. In fact, they made a $750,000 donation to St. Vincent's for pancreatic cancer research. And they just, if it has to do with pancreatic cancer, they're involved.
Tell us a little something about the planning that went into this huge event tonight, working with Kevin Butler, and how far back did you guys start working on putting this whole event together?
This goes back to the summer when we started trying to book dates, and we have to wait for Sacred Heart to get their schedule so they can find the time to get us in. And then working with Project Purple is great. The Sacred Heart entire staff treats us very well, and we're so fortunate to be welcomed here year after year.
Thanks so much. All right, guys, back over to you for the last quarter.
All right, I think we're going to see more of the same. I think we're going to see the Cadets really try and force the issue with their guards. And I think Trumbull's got to keep getting to the line, but make some of these foul shots.
Absolutely.
St. Joe's with the ball at the top of the key. Looking to cut down the lane as they've been doing all night long. Ball out of bounds. It's going to be off of Trumbull. It's going to stay with St. Joe's. But Trumbull's defense jumped that one very well. That pick and go has been working for them tonight. Ball in underneath for St. Joe's on the left side. Gets it into the corner, finds Atkins. Atkins trying to drive baseline underneath the basket. Feeds over to the right-hand side, but Manuel's there to take it away. Manuel's bringing it down the court right now, trying to look up, find the right wing. Johnson with a three-pointer. Is good.
Trumbull finally gets one to fall.
Trumbull picking up man-to-man as soon as the ball was inbounded. Trying to force the ball outside of the paint right now. Three-pointer on the way for St. Joe's. Rebound, Vitola taking it up the court herself. Loses the handle, goes to St. Joe's, ball's on the ground. We've got it. Well, I don't know whether it's a jump ball or a foul.
It's like a loose ball foul on number 10.
All right, it's going to be a loose ball foul on Trumbull. But I just thought that was a great athletic play getting in there for that ball, but must have been some contact. So St. Joe's ball. Trumbull's going to pick up full court.
It's going to be interesting here. St. Joe's got to keep doing a great job breaking the press, but Trumbull's really turning up the heat.
Barely gets the ball in there in their own zone. And Trumbull, hands on the ball right now. Up to the basket goes Misner. Misner is swatted by St. Joe's. A great block there. But Trumbull ball on the baseline. Misner will have the ball on the baseline as Trumbull sets up their inbounds play. Gets the ball into Manuel. Manuel looking left. Down to Vitola. Over to Johnson. Johnson, three on the way. Off the iron. Misner's got the ball in the corner. Drives left into the center of the lane. Manuel goes baseline off the glass and good. Again, Trumbull picks up, and St. Joe's calls a timeout. Trumbull now, it is 38 St. Joe's, 31 Trumbull. Trumbull is starting to get those buckets to fall.
Absolutely, and they're really picking up the pressure and the physicality in the full court. If you're St. Joe's here, you really got to catch your breath, calm everybody down, and see if you can keep your poise and composure here. A lot of game to go, and cut down on your turnovers, which has been the problem, the reason why Trumbull's been able to cut it to 7.
And here we have, Trumbull coming back out with the three-pointer, but they're coming back out, driving that lane with authority now. It's not the kind of the slow drives that they were trying to get before where they're looking to dish. Now the only thing they're looking at is putting that ball in the hoop.
Getting some huge contributions from a couple of freshmen that have really been driving the ball well to the basket all game.
Absolutely. So Cami Misner and right now Charlotte Manuel are the story with the points for Trumbull, but Johnson nailing that big three right away, continuing to distribute and continuing to rebound is Michaela Diamond. And, coming here into the fourth quarter, 6:39 on the clock, this is going to be a game of who wants it more. And that's what it comes down to in the fourth quarter all the time. So if both teams are going to keep running, it's going to be who's got the motor at the end.
Yep. And if you're St. Joe's here, you got to keep your composure, run a lot of clock here, take the whole clock off, get a really good shot.
We have it. Carry ball, which you don't see very much ever anymore, by St. Joe's, and it is going to be Trumbull ball on the sideline.
I got one quick update for you. I found out that Hillcrest beat Madison in the middle school playoffs today, and then the Hillcrest girls play tomorrow afternoon.
All right, ball is in Misner's hand. She's open for the moment. Jump shot off the iron. Rebound, Manuel underneath. Charlotte Manuel with another bucket underneath. Trumbull slows St. Joe's just over the line. Trying to double up everything and get another turnover. Here they are. Trapped in the corner. Ball back out to the top wing right now. Over to the right-hand side. 3 on the way, St. Joe's. Off the back of the backboard. That'll go Trumbull's way.
Right now, you're seeing the cadets kind of push it a little bit. Right? They got to try to calm themselves down a little bit, try to take some more clock and get the best shot they possibly can.
Kayla Diamond brings the ball across half court. She's moving to the right-hand side of the key. Over to Misner on the left-hand side. Looking underneath, nothing doing. Vitola has the ball out on the three-point line. Looking underneath as well. Manuel over on the three-point line to the left. Dribble, drive, off the glass, and good again. St. Joe's pushes the ball down the court as quickly as can. Open shot, no, drive down. And we have block, but a foul on Diamond. And that will put Del Rey on the line for St. Joe's. And that will be Diamond's 4th personal foul.
Could be trouble going forward a little bit with the foul trouble. St. Joe's did a real nice job there, really kind of catching their breath, getting back to what they were doing before, which is go to the basket and make things happen. Nice extra pass there to get them to the foul line.
First one is no good for Del Rey.
You can just feel the pressure cranking up here in the building all over the place.
Second one does fall. No pressure from St. Joe's. They're dropping back into their defense, trying to slow Trumbull down there. Misner with the ball at the top of the key. Swings it back over to Manuel. Manuel down to the corner. Johnson. Johnson drives baseline. Righty floater off the rim. Rebound, Del Rey. St. Joe's tries to break it out, but then slows it down. Kylie Manuel slows down ball at the top of the key. Misner now on the ball at the top of the key. Swinging it back around to the right-hand side. St. Joe's driving right around the baseline. Swings it back around to the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way. No, nothing but air. It will be Trumbull's ball going the other way.
It's not a bad shot by any means right there for the Cadets. A nice ball movement, just didn't hit it.
That's it. Trumbull swinging the ball over to Manuel. Manuel looks underneath, trying to find Misner. Back over to Vitola at the top right. Swings it over to Misner on the left wing. Looking to drive as Misner kicks it to the baseline. A three. It is a long two for Manuel.
Charlotte Manuel having one heck of a game here.
St. Joe's wants a timeout, rightfully so. It is 39-37. Trumbull has come out storming here in the last 2 minutes, forcing the issue into the key, kicking out, and like you were talking about before, that drive and kick, we were looking for that earlier. It wasn't falling, and it's starting to fall now.
For sure. And Charlotte is one of the best athletes, one of the best young athletes for sure at Trumbull High School, and really kind of showing that out here. Ability to get to the basket. She just showed you the ability to hit that little baseline jumper as well. She's been on fire here in the last 6-7 minutes.
Let me ask you, Brendan, from a coach's point of view, what was Coach Tobish doing a little bit differently these last couple minutes to get them back into the game?
I think, they were able to get a little bit more success from their press. At the end of the game, it's hard to close things out, in a big rivalry game. And, you see their kind of pressure start to crank up a little bit on St. Joe's. They really need to kind of get back to running their stuff and make sure they get a great shot every single time.
Hear the way that Trumbull has really stepped up their intensity. That is always a signature of their game. When they're intense, they're usually on fire too. And here it has thrown all of the pressure back on St. Joe's. 2-point game right now, 4:24. This is a long way from over, and it is just heating up. Ball out of bounds for St. Joe's right in front of their bench. Out to the top, looking to try and get that give and go going that they had earlier. Swinging it down to the corner, Atkins, pump fake, steps in, drains the two to get them back on the board.
Nice little set drawn up there, right there. Get that baseline stagger screen for the open shot.
Manuel over to Misner. Misner back to Vitola, looking underneath for Johnson. Johnson, catch and shot over the top of the Cadets right there. Great ball movement. St. Joe's slowing it down, gets the ball back to Atkins. Atkins kicks it over to the right wing. Looking for someone underneath, no cutters there, picks up the dribble. Down underneath Del Rey, great spin move. Up off the iron, too strong, comes down with her own rebound, puts it back. She's gonna go to the line for the traditional three-point play.
Really nice up and under move there against the help defender. Was able to get her up in the air, step underneath her, and finish through contact.
St. Joe's has stretched it out 43-39 now.
A huge bucket there for St. Joe's for sure to calm them down.
And it is too hard. Trumbull pushing it down. Manuel stops at the three-point line, looking around for some movement here. Johnson with the ball outside the three-point line. Dribbling right, gets it underneath to Vitola. Vitola looking for a cutter. Manuel pops out in the corner. Misner out on the left wing. Timeout for Trumbull. All right, we've got 3:17 on the clock. 43-39. Trumbull is starting to get the ball underneath. St. Joe's is going back to their give-and-go game. It's a barn burner already. We're coming down to the last few minutes, and, it's anyone's game.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Tobish comes up with here out of the timeout. Trumbull, if you've been noticing, has been going to a little bit of what we call the flex offense, which is continuous down screens and cross screens, which is really kind of open things up. And I think that's definitely something that he might think about coming back to a little bit as well, because with the continuous screening, sometimes it gets harder to defend that, and without switching the screens, it's hard to get through, and a lot of times you're going to get open jumpers and open looks off of it.
They've made their fair share right here at the end of jump shots. Great driving layups, too. And they are not taking that dribble. It is going hand to hand to bucket. So, I would expect something just like that right here off the inbounds play to try and keep St. Joe's on their heels. And then I would bet they're going to go right back into that trap, try and create another turnover.
There's certainly plenty of time here. Trumbull doesn't have to panic. They don't have to shoot a three. They want to get their best possible look here for sure, and continue to put the pressure on St. Joe's.
Well, here we go. Trumbull ball out on the far sideline here near us. They're setting up their inbounds play, and the Cadets have gummed up the key to make sure that nobody's going underneath. Misner takes the ball across half court. Driving left-hand side. Now driving back right again. Looking for the kick out. Johnson has it. She drives to the right-hand side, trying to take it to the hoop. Kicks it back out to the three-point line to Misner. Misner drives. And she's going to go to the line for two with a reach-in foul.
Misner shows great body control for someone who's a freshman. She really gets to the basket real well. Is very balanced. She's able to really kind of take it to the defense and force a foul call.
First shot on the way, off the iron. No good.
Trumbull's left a fair amount of points out there on the free throw line for sure.
Absolutely. Second one is no good as well. St. Joe's bringing the ball back down the court with 2:58 left on the clock. Trying to find Atkins, trying to get something going over there. It is still in control at the top of the key. We have Kaylee Hall in playing tough defense on Atkins right now. Johnson fronts the ball. Ball gets into Del Rey underneath. Pump fake there by Recupero. Del Rey with the layup underneath to make it 45-39. 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. Misner with the ball on the right-hand side of the key. Over to Manuel on the left. Looking for cutters. Vitola has the ball out top, looking underneath. Kicks it back over to, gets it back herself. Trying to drive into the lane, Vitola off the rim. Controlled by Manuel, gets another rebound here. Johnson, three on the way, it's good!
Just a huge shot by Carly there, cut it to three. What a great game we got here.
Picking up full court is Trumbull, trying to slow down St. Joe's from getting down the court. 1:53 on the clock. Give and go at the top of the key for St. Joe's. Dribbles left down to the corner. Atkins has the ball, drives baseline floater off the rim. Rebound for Del Rey, blocked by Vitola. Now they're just looking for somewhere to go with it. Long three on the way. St. Joe's is good. Molly Carey drains a three. Johnson bringing the ball down herself. Backing in down the lane, off the glass, too hard. Manuel gets it, puts it back, goes to the line to shoot one and finish this off.
Charlotte right in the right place at the right time off the rebound.
It is 48-44 St. Joe's, 1:21 on the clock. And we have Manuel at the line for one.
Starting to see a little bit of fatigue here, CJ, from both teams. They're a little tired. They're going to have to push through it.
This is when your tough players are so important. And she drains the one. Full court pickup here by Trumbull. Trying to stop that ball from getting in. Ball gets into Atkins. Atkins swings it back over to the far side to Carey. Carey bringing the ball up, still looking for Atkins again. Trading off on defenders here. Diamond is straight up on Fahey, or on Carey there. Misner keeping the ball outside the three-point line. St. Joe's trying to set something up, looking for the give and go again. They get it. Del Rey kicks to the corner, bringing the ball back out to the top is St. Joe's. 5 on the shot clock. Driving right hand, and good goes Molly Carey. Trumbull quickly tries to get the ball down the floor. We've got a timeout for Trumbull. It is 50-45. St. Joe's with 39. You know, each time Trumbull comes down here and gets a point, St. Joe's seems to have an answer. They are going right back to that give and go underneath.
Absolutely.
The quick pick and roll, and that has worked so well for them tonight.
Some incredible answers here from St. Joe's under a minute. It just shows a lot of poise and composure by their team trying to close things out. Be interesting to see if Trumbull come down and see if they can get a quick shot. They don't have to shoot it immediately, but they need to make sure that they move with some urgency for sure.
Absolutely. And it's, they got the ball down into the offensive zone right now quickly, and we're trying to call the timeout. It just seemed like that took forever. Here we have 39 seconds on the clock. They're looking for every tick they can get. I would expect for them to really come out here, get it to one of their three-point shooters. They don't necessarily need that yet, but Johnson's in open on the corner. She's been open at the top of the key. Manuel's had some great shots tonight. If they can get one in underneath, get the early two, get the ball back if you can on a turnover, and then look to get the ball back to the basket. But we're almost at that point where those threes need to drop.
St. Joe's definitely in control right now, but they need to be able to play with poise and composure. Huge possession right here for Trumbull.
Ball into Diamond, way out by half court. Drives left-hand side, looking to make some difference over there. Down the middle, gets stolen by Carey. 26 seconds, Trumbull has to foul. Diamond was looking to get that outlet pass to a three-point shooter, and it got tipped by Carey. Great hands on that ball. Foul gets taken right there. It's 50-45. St. Joe's just has to slow this game down, and they've got it. But I would expect a foul right away to try and stop this clock.
Still not in the bonus here. Trumbull fouls right away.
Not even a full second off the clock. And it looks like both teams are in the bonus, so it'll be foul shots all the way on fouls here. First shot is good. It'll be Hannah Wells with the first foul shot. And second is good as well. Trumbull gets the ball in quickly, trying to get to half court immediately and get that timeout. 22 seconds on the clock, 52-45 St. Joe's. This is going to take some magic if Trumbull's going to be able to get points on the board here.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Trumbull's got to, you have to shoot a three here for sure, and then pick up and foul right away. If you're St. Joe's, you're trying to guard the three-point line. You're okay with them doing stuff that takes a while to drive to the basket.
You know, this was one of those games that everybody had marked on the calendar, and it hasn't disappointed at all. Both teams came in here playing tough. St. Joe's took it to Trumbull right at the beginning, kind of set the tone. And honestly, I feel like the tail of the tape is missed foul shots.
Yeah, definitely left some points out there for sure. You know, one thing that's been really impressive for St. Joe's here under 2 minutes has just been their poise and composure. And when they really needed it, they went back to what's been successful for them, is really going to the rim and making things happen, and oftentimes taking a whole bunch of time off the shot clock as well. Really well done.
So here we have 22 seconds on the clock. Inbound for Trumbull in front of their own bench. Gets the ball to Johnson. Johnson turns, squares to the basket. Looking to find some air here. Gets the ball back out to the top. Long three on the way, off the rim. Rebounded by Misner again, who takes it to the hoop. It's still going to be Trumbull's ball. 11 seconds on the clock. We're going to take a 30-second timeout right here. They got a shot high off the rim. Got the rebound, which was incredible. And again, it was Misner with that ball. She has played a tough game tonight. Some great movement by both teams to get their open lanes to drive. You know, another classic game right here. So we have 52-45. St. Joe's is up right now, 11.2 on the clock. Trumbull's going to try and get an inbound here. Now it's a 3 or nothing, trying to get some points on the board.
Sure.
And St. Joe's is going to look to make sure that they have a hand in anyone's face that's going to take a shot tonight.
Just guard the three-point line here for sure.
Diamond gets it in, swing to the top. Escobar, three on the way. I think he got touched. Diamond gets it. tries to put it up. And it looks like she's going to go to the line to shoot two.
Trumbull ran a pretty good set there. They had Kylie Manuel coming all the way across the offensive formation. They ran Escobar out the top of the elevator screen there for sure, and got her a good look. Didn't fall.
And Diamond's first shot is no good. Second shot on the way is good. St. Joe's trying to inbound, gets it into Atkins. Atkins looking to run out the clock here. Gets fouled at half court with 2 on the clock. You know, can't say enough about foul shots. It's, you know, layups and foul shots make all the difference in the world. Getting your layups in transition, hitting your foul shots from the charity stripe. And I think tonight that just is the difference in the score overall with the missed foul shots. First one is good for Atkins.
Yeah, St. Joe's definitely better from the line, you know, and it's one of those things here at the end that they had an answer for every single time that Trumbull's come back and, you know, really made a big-time run. St. Joe's come up with a really big basket.
You know, that second foul shot rattled out, and who's on the ball but Atkins. Atkins got her own rebound, dribbled out the clock. You know, this was truly an amazing game. The girls from St. Joe's came in here very well prepared for what Trumbull was going to bring. They saw what they did to Greenwich. They've definitely watched film. They were controlling the pace of the game and knew that they were going to be able to have those quick give and goes under the basket and get their post players involved right from the beginning.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, when you're playing in a big arena like this, it's really a good idea to try to get to the basket. And St. Joe's did a great job, especially in the first half, of just making sure they got easy looks and things that were really close to the basket in order for them to do that. And it was a great job by them finishing it off at the end.
And we're going to go to Jeff right now with Coach Tobish.
All right, we got Coach Tobish. All right, Coach, game obviously didn't go the way you wanted. Two-part question. What wasn't clicking for you tonight, and what was St. Joe's doing that was making it so hard?
I just think St. Joe's did a fantastic job. They got every loose ball. They got some terrific basketball players over there. Coach Johnny did a phenomenal job. And you know what? We got a lot to work on when we watch the film.
Similar question to what I asked you at the half. Give me something that they did well on that you're going to take as a learning experience going forward.
I thought we did pick up our pressure and intensity in the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks so much and good luck the rest of the way.
You know, Coach brings up a great point. It's just one of those things. Pressure and intensity they bring everything to a team. And from the very beginning, St. Joe's had it. And Trumbull found it after the beginning of the game when they were already in the hole. I think, you know, between the beginning of that game right there and the missed foul shots, I think, you know, those are the couple of things he's going to take back from this film and really work on with the girls so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, you know, I think once Trumbull looks at this film, they're gonna see that they need to do a better job in the half court on defense, and they know that. Coaches know that for sure, and doing a little bit better job of keeping people in front of them and not giving them so many easy looks. And that was really the difference. And what St. Joe's was able to really build that lead off of early was just the easier looks that close to the basket.
Oh, definitely. And you were right. You know, they went right back to their game. Drive hard, kick the ball to the bigs, try and get some layups, and then swing the ball back out to the top of the key and let your three-pointers do their thing. You know, great game. It never disappoints. Rivalry game, crosstown showdown on the high school scale. Love seeing it, and these kids did, you know, they came out and fought the entire time.
All right, so St. Joe's gets the first win of the year against, not their first win, but first win for somebody else against the Trumbull girls. They take down the Eagles 53-46. We're going to take a little break as the boys teams are out getting warmed up, and we'll be back with game number 2 in a little bit.
This is First Selectman Vicky Tesoro, and you are listening to 10, the Trumbull Eagles Network.
Mike King, Director of Athletics for the Trumbull Public Schools, and you are listening to the Trumbull Eagles Network, number 10.
This is the Trumbull Eagle Network.
And once again, live from the Pitt Center at Sacred Heart University, it's Trumbull Eagles basketball on 10 and TCTV. We now have the second game of the doubleheader for you as your Trumbull High Eagles, the boys basketball team, takes to the court against the St. Joe's boys. Again, in game number 2, we're coming fresh off a unfortunate Trumbull loss to St. Joe's, but we got another huge matchup. The number 9 ranked Trumbull High Eagles are about to take the court against their arch rival now. CJ Emanuelson and Brendan Moore still with us on the sidelines, calling the game. Guys, what are you looking forward to in game number 2?
Oh, it's going to be action from the very beginning. There's no doubt about it. After last year, it was up and down and up and down and up and down. I think we're going to see the same thing this year. The Trumbull boys have come out poised, calm, collected. They weathered the storm against Stanford on Friday, and they just took it to them, and it was for a 20-point win. Amazing to watch the chemistry between these guys this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing, obviously, more of Sean Wilson, but the supporting cast is right there doing the job, too. Tuhayes, Rendy, the Lamoth, all putting in work underneath the basket.
For sure. Be interesting to see how this game kind of gets out to, and what kind of pace it gets out to, for sure. Both teams really want to get up and down the floor, running as fast as they can, and get ready to kind of pushing the envelope on both sides. So it's going to be a great kind of start to see which pace, who has more success with that pace going up and down.
Absolutely. And I think, if Trumbull can force the ball underneath early, they're going to be able to free up Roth, and they're going to be able to free up Arnaud, and we're going to see some great shots from those guys. Every bit of the Trumbull team worked hard the other night, and I see this rivalry matchup is always electric. It is already filled in here on both sides of the gym. The student sections are filling as we speak. The parents are already grabbing their seats so that they can be in place, ready for tip-off. I mean, you can't beat this. We're here on the campus of Sacred Heart University. We're here ready for an amazing second matchup. The first one lived up to every bit of it. I can't wait for this to get underway.
For sure.
We're going to be talking with Coach Bray in just a moment. I know he had some, great things to say about his team after the last win, especially honoring Sean with his 1,000th point earlier on this season. Even Sean said it's a team. Like, we all work together to get to this point because that's what it takes. And he said in his post-game interview, my shots from the outside weren't falling, so I went back on defense and I did what I could to rebound and put in a couple of good layups for the team, and he relied on his other guys to take care of that long-range shot, which was amazing to hear from that senior leader. We're going to go over to Jeff right now with Coach Brett. Can't hear you. Nothing. We'll get back to Coach Bray later on. But, we're here, 10 seconds left before we start out this game. We're going to have the tip in just a minute. Jeff's going to go back, try and catch Coach Bray before we do the introductions right now.
All right, Coach, now we got some audio. Huge gym packed in, the student section filled to the rafters. What did you say to the guys in the locker room before they came out, just to get them to calm the butterflies and make sure they're ready to go?
Just be ready in that first 4 minutes. Great event. So proud to be a part of Project Purple and what Dino's doing. And we got a great supporter out there, so let's go get them.
What's the game plan for the first half?
We're going to just concentrate on our first 4 minutes, value our possessions, good shot selection, play really hard on the defensive end.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Shot selection is something they definitely did very well in the last game. They were able to limit mistakes. They were able to weather the storm that came on Friday. I look for the same thing to be happening here. They're going to take smart shots. They're going to look for their openings, and then once they decide it's time, they're going to turn it on and attack. Now,
St. Joe's is really known for pushing the tempo as well. They like to get a lot of quick shots, a lot of deep shots off, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of settles into the game fastest.
And we're going to have our team introductions now.
Cheerleaders for both teams standing with the lineups. get ready for a roar when they introduce Sean Wilson. St. Joe's comes in with a record of 6-8 overall, 3-6 in the FCAC. In the CIAC Division II rankings, they are number 26. The Trumbull Eagles, 14-0 overall, 9-0 in the FCAC. Second place in the FCAC West, ranked number 9 in the state in the Game Time CT poll. And in the CIAC Division II rankings, they are the number 2 team heading into the postseason, which is not that far away.
This is going to be an awesome game up and down the court tonight. Both teams love to run. Both teams have some great upperclassmen leadership. They're going to get their shots. We're going to see some great ball movement from both teams. And again, we already have an electric crowd. It is just going to continue to get louder and louder from here.
Yeah, it's going to really come down to whoever can, be best at that transition game for sure. They both want to get up and play as fast as possible.
So as we line up for the tip here, we've got Wilson going up against Black. It is going to be a great game here. You can hear the Trumbull crowd. You can hear the St. Joe's crowd. Everybody's coming to play tonight, and here we go with our tip. Trumbull controls, big jump for Wilson. Off the backboard goes 2 ways with the very first shot. Gets hit on the body and is going to go to the line for the first 2 of the game.
Trumbull a little bit of a set play there off the tip. They knew that Sean was probably going to win it. They were able to get it. Jaden kind of coming on that backside for an easy shot.
Beautiful look, absolutely. First one is off the iron, no good. Second one is good. St. Joe's bringing the ball down the court. Over to the right-hand side we go. Back out to the left-hand wing. Looking underneath, trying to find a cutter. Back out to the right wing. Lamoth matches up. Dribble drive, stopped. Three-pointer on the way. Is good. Right out of the shoot for Phoebus. Trumbull brings the ball down. Wilson, ball in hand, looking to answer, and he does. Sean Wilson with a man in his face drains the 3. Picks up as soon as they come over the court. Phoebus with ball in hand is trying to make something happen. We've got Adolphe on the floor running the kind of a 3-man weave at the top. We have the cadets right now looking for something underneath. Three-pointer on the way, off the backboard. Controlled by Trumbull. Reed with ball in hand, pushing it. Looking over to the corner. Wilson, 2 ways, back to Wilson. Pump fake, floater. It is good. Trumbull content to pick up in half court right now. Phoebus moves the ball over there to Sample. Sample back over to the side. Ball in hand with Phoebus right now. Driving the middle of the lane. Kicks out to the corner. Three-pointer on the way. St. Joe short. Rebound. Reed's pushing the issue again. Taking it to the hoop himself. Off the back too hard. Wilson with the 3 in hand. Good! Wilson with 2 threes right here in the first couple of minutes of the game. St. Joe's looking to make something happen. Stop and pop from the foul line. No good. Fight for it in the corner. It is going to be St. Joe's ball in the corner. Alex Roth with his hands on that one, forcing him out of bounds.
You see right away here, Sean Wilson inserting himself into the game early here.
Cadets get the ball out to the top of the key. Phoebus running the offense. Looking left-hand side, driving left-hand side, all on his own. Floater, way too hard. It's going to be Trumbull ball.
In that transition game so far, you see really how fast Trumbull is. When they get a rebound, they're going to be gone before you can even turn around.
Wilson walks the ball up across half court. Gets it over to the side to Reed. Reed up to Lamont. Lamont to Wilson. Thinking about a three from the corner. Bringing the ball back out top. Resetting the offense here. Drives left. Elevates for three. Off the iron hard. St. Joe's the rebound. Driving left is St. Joe's. Looking back up onto the wing. Tough defense from Trumbull. Forcing them baseline. Three-pointer on the way, St. Joe's. It is good. Sample with the three-pointer. Trumbull pushes the pace. Reed off the iron. Controlled by St. Joe's. Coming back down right now is Sample with the ball. Quickly gets the ball to the top of the key. Slows it down. Phoebus with the ball in hand. Reed on him in tight coverage. Swings the ball over the left-hand wing. Looking for a pick and go. Back to the top. Good defense by Trumbull. Keeping him outside the three-point line. Phoebus slows it down again. Ball kicks over to the left-hand side. Down to the corner. And we have a travel. It is going to go Trumbull's way. Too quick with the pivot foot there with St. Joe's. Ball out on the sideline in front of the bench.
See what Trumbull gets going here in the half court. Definitely something they've gotten much improved on since last year. Their half court offense, just kind of in general.
Hayes leading the offense right now, looking for the screen. Gets it down to the left corner to Wilson. Wilson floats off the iron. Rebound St. Joe's. St. Joe's looking to break out. Down the left-hand side they go. Slowed down by Reed. Reed's on Phoebus. Phoebus tries to find something. They're going to get a foul on Reed. On the floor, it'll be St. Joe's ball out on the side. The crowd is into it already. St. Joe's feeds underneath to the post. Turnaround jump shot too hard. Fighting for it is Trumbull. It's going to be St. Joe's ball in front of the Trumbull bench. Off of Roth. Trumbull matches up in man-to-man again. Ball is in. Breaking across the court. Out of control is St. Joe's point guard Sample. They're going to get a blocking foul on Roth.
Would have liked to see Roth just kind of move his feet and make that a difficult shot. No real reason to foul him there. It's completely out of control.
Didn't really see a shooting foul coming out of that either, but on the line for two is Sample. First one rattles out, no good. Second shot on the way. It's good. Shooting into that sea of black shirts has got to be difficult. Reed brings the ball back down the court, looking left right now. Finding Hayes, who finds Wilson on the feed. Too hard off the glass. Going St. Joe's way again. Quickly down the left-hand side comes St. Joe's. Pushing in to the baseline is St. Joe's. Throws the ball away. It is out at half court. Wilson comes up with it. Gets it to Reed. Reed looking to get the ball down the court quickly. Drives right off the glass. Misses St. Joe's ball. Quickly forcing the issue is St. Joe's. High floater off the backboard. Thought we had the charging call there, but
certainly looked like it, but he decided no call.
Neither of the shots fell for St. Joe's there, so we've got Wilson with the ball at the top of the key, over to Lamont. Lamont looking for someone, drives out to the top. Hayes with the ball at the top of the key, over to Reed on the right-hand wing. Reed tries to go baseline, off of St. Joe's, out of bounds. Couple of subs here. Bagley coming in for Reed. Trumbull's going to have the ball out of bounds underneath the basket. Looking to set up inbounds play right now. Gets the ball out to Lamont. Lamont looking into the post up. Bagley has the ball in the corner. Back to Lamont on the wing. Skip pass across. Rock, three-pointer. Misses. Bagley with the rebound. Tries to feed Hayes cutting down the middle, but it's knocked away by the Cadets. And they'll slow the tempo down a little bit with Black bringing the ball up. Driving right-hand side, kicking to the corner. Three-pointer on the way is good. Adelphi drains one from the corner. Wilson with the ball in hand, bringing it up. Looking for a three, fakes it. Lamont with a three on the way, rims out. Off of Hayes' hand, St. Joe's controls. They're going to look to put another one on the board here. Driving against Bagley, going right. Off the backboard, too hard. Wilson comes down with the rebound. Driving it himself, goes up with the right hand off the glass, too much. Slowing the ball down is Wilson. St. Joe's lost the handle, but they still got the foul on Wilson. It's going to be on the side.
You see Trumbull trying to go inside there a little bit, which I think is a good idea. They really kind of take it to him off the bounce. Try to force the envelope a little bit inside.
Trumbull had a lot of success even against Stanford with their giant 6'10" center. I think they should definitely be looking to do that right now. St. Joe's inbounds from the far sideline. Phoebus with the ball, driving left. Trying to find something. Swings it back to the right-hand side. Back over to the left. Onto the left wing right now is St. Joe's. St. Joe's out to the top of the key. Driving left. Off the rim too hard. Bagley with the ball. Bagley's looking to push. He's up the court looking for someone to get it to. Finds Wilson. Wilson finds Bagley. Underneath for two. St. Joe's is going to slow the ball down again. On the left hand, top of the key. Now we're back to the right. Over to the left wing. Long three-pointer is good. Adelphi with another three. Wilson driving right, trying to find some daylight. Hayes going baseline. Cuts off the backboard and in with the left hand.
Really nice finish there by Jaden, really getting to the basket. Look to see more of that from Trumbull.
Driving tough is St. Joe's right now, trying to create more of those outside shots. Ball to the top of the key right now, moving it around right hand, driving Adelphi. We're going to get a charging foul on St. Joe's. Hayes, great position in line with that basket.
You see Trumbull making a little bit of an adjustment there, trying to get up on shooters and make them beat them to the basket. It's going to be interesting how that still kind of works out going forward.
51 seconds here on the clock. 15-13 St. Joe's. Wilson with the ball, just coming across half court. Kicks the ball down to Roth. Roth looking for anyone underneath. Tries the pass, gets knocked away. Stolen by St. Joe's. Trumbull trying to drop into defense now. We've got Rendy in underneath right now for Lamont. Slowing everything down is St. Joe's. 18 seconds on the clock. Sample has the ball in hand. He's got Wilson on him. 11 seconds. Kicks the ball over to the far side. 8 seconds. Trying to drive left. Goes St. Joe's. Loses the handle. Oh, it's going to stay St. Joe's ball on the baseline. Underneath with 4 seconds left is St. Joe's. Trying to clog up the middle is Trumbull. Ball into the corner. Bagley hand in his face. Off St. Joe's. No, off Trumbull again. It's going to go off Wilson out of bounds. 1.6 on the clock. 15-13 St. Joe's.
Got to get out on shooters here.
Gets it in quickly. Floater. Off the iron. No good. We're going to take it over to Jeff right now with our baseball coach for Trumbull.
All right, guys, I found Coach Baselli in the crowd. Coach, baseball season just around the corner. Give us a little preview about what we can look forward to with Trumbull baseball.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not happy about all the snow out there right now. I'm definitely not happy that Punxsutawney Phil saw a shadow the other day, because that means 6 more weeks of winter. But I am happy about the group that we have coming back. We have an experienced pitching staff led by Trevor Schulke, Andrew Valentino. I think it'll be fun to watch. Our pitching and defense will be our strength. And I think if we can put 4 or 5 runs on the scoreboard, we're going to be tough to beat.
What are some matches on the schedule that you're most looking forward to playing this year?
Well, we start off with a very tough non-league schedule. Amity, the defending champs, Fairfield Prep, Massac, Notre Dame, West Haven, and Darien. So that's a tough way to start the season in non-league. But that's how we prepare for the FCX schedule.
Coach, thanks so much, and good luck with baseball this spring. Over to you guys.
All right, definitely looking forward to some baseball games this year. I know Coach Pacelli pretty well, and he is never happy when there's this much snow on the ground, because all he wants to do is get that team out there working. All right, we're back here in the second quarter. 15-13 St. Joe's. Some big things from both teams. You know, they're trying to drive that lane and kick for those open shots. We've got almost all three-pointers right now for St. Joe's, and we've got a mix for Trumbull. Tight score, tight defense, great movement on offense. Exactly what we expected. Here we go with St. Joe's at the top of the key, met right there by Roth. Matchup 2A's. Wilson over on the right-hand wing as St. Joe's looks for their cutters. Moving back to the top of the key comes St. Joe's, trying to drive right as Phoebus. Phoebus looking to the right side. Adolphe fakes, goes baseline, gets around Lamoth for two. Reed is going to bring the ball back up, looking to make something happen underneath. He's got his eyes up under the basket, looking for the cutters. Finds 2A's back door, wide open.
Great play by Jaden there on the overplay, cutting back door. Easy look.
Ball on the left-hand wing. Adolphe right now trying to drive the baseline again. Swings it back out to Black, back over to Phoebus. Back to Adolphe. Adolphe thinking about another three. Trying to find some open air. Gets the ball back to Sample. Sample driving right-hand side. Moves the whole offense around to the baseline. Gets trapped. Roth, hard defense over in the corner again. Swings the ball. Big skip pass from St. Joe's to the corner. Off the rim. Wilson with the rebound. Pushing the issue right now is Wilson. Looking for Reed. Reed on the three-point line. Tries to drive baseline. Cuts back to the middle. Floater off the iron. Lamoth fighting for the rebound. And we're going to have a hold on St. Joe's. Trumbull ball underneath.
Josh Reed doing what he did really well there, getting to the basket. Love to see him kind of gather himself when he gets there. Look for others if they come, if he draws that help.
Explosive move into the center of the lane there that actually freed up Lamoth a little bit. Reed looking for somebody over the top. Into the corner, finds Wilson. Wilson floater off the edge of the rim. He's going to go to the line for two.
Sean has that ability to kind of get to the baseline. He really gets off the ground on his runner. Tough to defend with a smaller defender on him.
And as we were talking about before, he is very quick to the air. First one is good. It's just one of those athletic moves that is really tough to slow down. Second shot on the way, off the iron, rolls around, St. Joe's rebound. Phoebus will bring the ball back up, met by Reed right at half court. Looking around, spread the ball over to Sample. Sample looks underneath. Black has the ball on the post, trying to match up against Wilson. Looks back out to the top. It's stolen by Roth. Great move over to Wilson. Wilson gets it to 2A's. 2A's in for two.
It's a really underrated part of Sean Wilson's game. The kid can really pass the ball. A lot of times people see him as a scorer, which is pretty obvious, but at the same time, he can really always looking for his teammates. A great kind of wraparound pass there, going full speed for the easy look for Trumbull.
You know, St. Joe's called that timeout very quickly to try and slow this down. It is now 17-18. Trumbull with the lead. 6:05 in the second quarter. Trumbull with some great movement and some strong defense right now. Roth is always a part of the defense. He is hustling for every ball. He gets his hands up on the perimeter shooters really well. This quick lineup right now that Trumbull has on the floor is definitely starting to make the cadets work that much harder.
Yeah, you see a concerted effort here by Trumbull to start making the ball handlers for St. Joe's go sideways and not vertical. That will definitely change the game.
Sample's going to bring the ball up now. Phoebus has moved all the way down the court. Phoebus gets the ball on the right-hand wing. Driving left is Phoebus, looking for the cutter. Doesn't find it, tries to float it in, doesn't get it, gets his own rebound. but then Wilson elevates for the next one. He'll bring it down himself, driving right-hand side. Over to Lamont, over to Two-Hayes in the corner. Two-Hayes driving, looking for some daylight, finds it, rough. Three-pointer on the way, off the iron to Two-Hayes, to Wilson. Wilson looks to drive the baseline, off the backboard. Lamont with the ball. Fouled, and he's going to go to the line for two. The feverish fight on the backboard is going to be going on all night long. Lamont is down there banging, trying to get whatever he can.
Now, Ryan is so important to this team. He got hurt at a certain point in the game last year that really hurt Trumbull's chances in that game for sure. Does a lot of the dirty work, a lot of the stuff that no one wants to do. He's always up for the challenge.
First foul shot was no good. Second one on the way. It is good. Trumbull again going to drop and pick up at half court. Sample with the ball, moving to the right-hand side. Drives right, comes up, elevates. Off the iron, no good. It is controlled in the corner. It's Reed with the ball. Reed bringing the ball up the court. We're looking for some daylight. Still with the ball in hand. Kicks it over to Two-Hayes. Two-Hayes, three on the way. Off the iron, Lamont fighting for it. Phoebus corrals the rebound and is bringing it the other direction. Phoebus still working with the ball. Rolls over to Black in the corner. Black drives left, elevates, shoots off the rim, and we have Wilson with another rebound. Wilson bringing it himself as everybody filters down the court. Back out to the top to Reed, resetting the offense here. Two-Hayes with the ball on the left-hand side. Pushed away by Sample. It'll be Trumbull ball out on the sideline. In comes Bagley for Roth. Two-Hayes with the ball into Reed. Bringing it across half court. Offense setting up, pick left. Swings it over to Wilson. Thought about a long three for a second there. We got Wilson on the right-hand top of the key. Looking to go one-on-one. Drives left. Elevates, shoots. Off the iron. Rebound to Sample. Sample brings it up. Jump shot on the way. Off the iron for St. Joe's. Rebound, Phoebus. Phoebus finds Sample. Sample again and drains the two. Reed now bringing the ball across half court. Dribbles right. Pulls up for two. It's good.
Josh has been showing the ability to hit that shot all year. It's really helped Trumbull out a ton.
Three-pointer on the way from the Cadets is good. Skyers just into the game. Makes his presence known with a three-pointer. Reed bringing the ball up the court now. Gets it over to Two-Hayes. Two-Hayes looks underneath, then swings it to Bagley. Bagley back to Two-Hayes on the left. Tries to get the ball to Wilson. It's going to go off of Wilson's hands. It'll be St. Joe's ball. And Rendy in for Lamont. Phoebus brings the ball up the right-hand side of the court. Met with Reed right there at the three-point line. Handoff. Adolphi, floater from the right-hand side, makes it work. Reed up the left-hand side now, looking for some daylight. Brings it back out to the top of the key, finds Bagley. Bagley, long three, off the iron. Elevating is Wilson. Put back is no good, but he'll go to the line again.
So what you saw there was a little bit of a full face guard by St. Joe's on Sean Wilson there, but he's still such an athlete. He's able to crash the boards hard there and kind of go right around the box out and giving himself an opportunity at the line.
You know, as we saw in the girls' games, there's a little bit of a lid on the basket for both teams from deep, but they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm here. There's a lot of adrenaline going on in this room right now, too. So you can see the players are kind of feeding off of that. Wilson's first shot was no good. On to his second shot here. It is good. And we're going to have a timeout, Trumbull. It is 24-22 with 3 left in the second quarter. And both teams are just slugging away. It's just one haymaker after another. Whether it's a three-pointer or whether they're driving the lane and kicking, They are active on both ends of the court.
Yeah, by all means, Trumbull can't fall asleep. Sometimes in defensive transition is one of the hardest things to pick people up on. We got to get out on shooters, especially the St. Joe's team. Talking to Coach Bray earlier today, he was definitely concerned about the three-point shot-making ability of St. Joe's. So they got to do a better job getting them off the three-point line. See some of the results when they've gotten them to really kind of get to the basket instead of where they're comfortable outside.
I think the other thing is if they can keep them out of the key, they will have a lot better success. I mean, every time St. Joe's has been inside the key, they've got a two-point bucket. So right now, trying to force that offense to stay deep and stay face guarding them will be big. Phoebus brings the ball back down against Reed. Over to the right-hand side to Skyers. It is over in Adolphi's hand now on the left. Adolphi throws it away as Phoebus was looking at backdoor cut. So Trumbull's going to have the ball going the other direction. Into the game now we have Arnaud as well for Trumbull. Here we have Reed with the ball. Knocked away by St. Joe's, but Hayes is going to control that and bring it back across half court. He's looking to drive right now. Reed has the ball back in hand outside the three-point line. Trying to find a cutter. Dribbles left. Down to the corner. Gets the ball to Arnaud. Arnaud drives baseline. Goes off too hard. Rendy with a great rebound. It gets back out to Reed, and Reed drains the two.
Great hustle there by Rendy. He was able to just kind of poke it out toward Reed for an easy one.
Phoebus drives left and floats with his right hand. Big drive by Reed off of St. Joe's out of bounds. St. Joe's was hoping he threw it out of bounds himself there. It's going to be Trumbull ball underneath. Ball is in Wilson's hand. Goes to pull up and gets hit immediately. They're going to say he was not shooting. I don't know if he's ever not in the act of shooting, though. So they're going to call it on the ground. So it's going to be Trumbull's ball out of bounds underneath. Nope, they have now changed it. He was in the act of shooting, so we have Wilson on the line shooting two. First one is good.
St. Joe's had some real success lately here trying to get to the basket and finishing. It'll be interesting to see if they kind of keep going there or they're going to be looking more to kick it out and hit their outside shots.
Second one on the way. Off the iron, rolls in for another good bucket. St. Joe's bringing the ball up. We have Sample with the ball in hand now. Gets the ball to Skyers at the top of the key. Phoebus with the ball now. Driving is Black, driving left. Gets Wilson in the air, stripped. Ooh, Cadets get the ball back. Arnaud with a great defensive play. All the way over to Black. Black shooting from the corner. Off the glass and in. Wilson long feed to the corner, too high for Reed. St. Joe's ball, 1:21 left on the clock.
I like to see Trumbull kind of settle in the half-court offense a little bit. You know, sometimes when you have to slow it down, you're going to have to sit down and kind of run your sets and get people through some screens, make it hard on the defense.
They've definitely been pushing a little bit. Phoebus with the ball, hands off to Skyers. Skyers tries to get into the lane. It's going to be a hand check. Foul on the ground. It's going to be St. Joe's ball underneath. Not finding any daylight right now. St. Joe's gets it to Phoebus. Phoebus steps back for the three and drains it. Wilson now has the ball in hand to bring it across half court. Rendy sets the screen for Wilson to drive right. He continues to his right, spins back to his left, gets it to the corner. Arnaud drives it in the middle of the lane. Foul and he will go to the line for 2.
Good patience there by Arnaud. Getting to the basket, getting balanced enough to get himself the call there for sure. He's getting some good minutes off the bench here and late in the first half.
Especially with Wilson driving deep each time. If one of these other guys can get to the line, just drain a couple of foul shots, point here, point there, that's going to make a big difference as this game goes on. Both foul shots are no good. Fight for the ball. Rendy has it. It is now in Trumbull's hands. Reed with the ball, driving to the hoop. Jump step off the glass. Rendy tipping it around. It's controlled by Black. Going the other way, all on his own. Hard off the glass. Misses 2. Hayes. Big rebound. Going the other direction. It's 3-on-2. Ball in Arnaud's hand for 3. Long. Out of bounds. Saved back in by 2 Hayes, but it's going the other way. Black going the other way. We're going to have a foul on the floor. Oh, they're deciding now whether it's on the floor or whether it's... Yep, it'll be a foul on the floor. Ball out underneath St. Joe's. Back into the game is Roth. Arnaud takes a seat. And we have Sample with the ball out of bounds. Gets it high up to the top of the key. And now we have the ball with Phoebus in hand. 10 seconds left on the clock. Swinging the ball around the top, way out by half court of St. Joe's. Finding Phoebus deep. Phoebus breaks left. He's looking for daylight. He found daylight, but also found Wilson, who got the block. So we've got 32-26 here. We're going to go to Jeff right now.
Coach, St. Joe's had a real strong second quarter. What were they doing that was giving the Eagles a hard time?
I thought they made some tough contested shots. We just got to push up, find those shooters a little bit better. We'll be okay.
What do you want to adjust for the second half?
I think our shot selection, run some better sets with rushing.
Good luck, Coach. All right, back to you guys.
You know, absolutely. You know, Brendan, as you were saying, looking to get back into those set plays out of the slow down offense, I think it's definitely going to be key as well. You know, you brought up a great point. You know, we got away from that a little bit. I think getting back to that will be a key for them, absolutely.
Yeah, you always want to try to make defenses work, and you know, as you do that, you want to try to put them through some screens. You want them to have to worry about Sean Wilson, but we don't want to have to, you know, just worry about Sean Wilson one-on-one, right? Because that's not exactly, you know, real hard on the defense when you're not making everybody kind of be part of it. You know, I think that's what Coach Bray will probably talk about at halftime is to kind of start, you know, they'll run when they have a chance because that's when they're at their best. But, you know, when they have to slow it down and run a set, they've shown that they can do that this year, and it's a much improved part of their game. We haven't necessarily seen that a ton tonight. I think they're going to have to get back to that to kind of climb back in this and take the lead.
All right, why don't we give you guys a little bit of a break after calling 3 halves so far, and we'll be back with the final half of the game. After this, St. Joe's leads 32-26.
Thanks, Jeff. Hello, this is Brendan Moore, offensive coordinator at Trumbull High School, and you are listening to 10.
Larry Kunshaft, Daniels Farm Elementary School principal, and you're listening to 10, the Trumbull Eagle Network. Go Eagles!
And welcome back to Trumbull Eagles basketball on 10 and TCTV, live from the Pitt Center at Sacred Heart University in Fairfield. This is Jeff Alterman along with CJ Emanuelson and Brendan Moore. Guys, we got a close one in the second game like we had in the first one. Trumbull down a few points, just like in the first one. We'll see if Sean and the boys can make a big comeback here in the second half.
Yeah, you know, Trumbull got hot right there in the middle. They started using their dribble drive and kick to their advantage. They used their size to their advantage underneath and got a few points. And then St. Joe's went on that run of a couple of threes that really just kind of set them up by these 6 points that we've got here. So it's a back and forth game. They've got great talent on both sides of the ball. I think if Trumbull can get back into their kind of strength game, they're going to have a little bit more success.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're St. Joe's, you're happy with where you are at the half for sure. You know, for them, they want to keep kind of getting that inside and outside type of look. They've done a pretty good job of making some of the drives that maybe not necessarily their game overall, what they really want to do. So it'll be interesting to see kind of if they can keep that going in the second half. Trumbull really needs to do a better job of, again, like I said before, making guys go east-west and not north-south. And that's really killed them a little bit so far is allowing too much north-south dribble from Joe's, which has really opened up some of their three-point shooting and so on.
You know, and the other piece, Trumbull has great athleticism. If Wilson is going to drive and kick, those guys need to continue to do the same. They've got the ability. They can drive the hoop anytime they want. I mean, Reed, Hayes, Arnaud, they can all get there and score. So now, if he's going to turn into a facilitator like he did against Stanford, hey, take advantage of it. Score some big points. Let Sean get the rebounds and feed you the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And Trumbull, I think, is going to really look to exploit some of the St. Joe's weaknesses in the half-court sets a little bit more here in the second half. You know, and really make it hard on the St. Joe's defense. I think Coach Bray would agree that, you know, they didn't really make it too tough on that St. Joe's defense in the first half. Look for them to really kind of make St. Joe's defend all the way through the end of the shot clock and maybe not, you know, shoot so quickly, or maybe make sure that their shot selection is a little better here in the second half.
Shot selection is exactly what I was thinking. If they can get that good shot selection, that's their game. Wait, be patient, and then take those strong shots that you know you're going to drain. Well, here we go. We've got about, well, no seconds left on the clock. So here we are at 32-26 to start our second half. This is going to, again, turn into a track meet just like the girls' game did. Electricity is starting to build up again. And it will be Trumbull ball out on the sideline first.
And most likely you're going to see some of the senior leadership come out for Trumbull right now. Start 5 seniors, you know, it's something that you've been in the game a long time. You know what you're doing. You have a lot of poise and composure.
Well, here we go with Wilson with ball in hand on the top right of the key. Spinning out is Hayes on the three-point line. Wilson looks to establish himself underneath, and we have a hold immediately on Black. Wilson was trying to establish position underneath, and Black just grabbed hold and wouldn't let go of him.
They tried to get physical with him right there. What I like, though, is they had a little back screen action for Sean coming off that elbow there. It already results in a foul.
Reed with the ball in on the baseline, gets it into Wilson. Wilson standing in the corner, out to Lamont. Lamont's going to bring the ball across. Looks to drive right. Looks to get the ball down inside to Wilson. Good deflection by St. Joe's there. Phoebus bringing the ball up fast. Looking for people, loses control, and Roth comes up with a steal. Quick outlet, gets it back to Hayes. Hayes drives. Wilson goes up, gets blocked off the backboard. Then it's going to be off for Trumbull out of bounds for St. Joe's. St. Joe's will bring the ball up with Sample on the left-hand side. Over to Black. Black looking up top to Phoebus. Hands off. Wilson right on Phoebus. Won't give him any space. In his face, takes it away from him right away.
Incredible one-on-one defensive play there by Wilson.
Again, Wilson is so fast off the floor. Reed with the ball in the left wing. Hayes comes around the bottom. Up top is Roth. Roth looking for Two Hayes. Two Hayes at the top. Drives right. Nobody helps, and he's in for two.
And that's something Jaden can really do when the floor gets spread like that. Much better job than in the first half.
Ball's in Black's hand on the right-hand side. Pulls and pops. Jump shot is good. Wilson will bring the ball up now. He has Black guarding him. Drives left. Black can't stay with him. Gets it over to Roth. Roth, three-pointer on the way. Off the iron. Rebound goes to Sample. Sample's bringing that ball up the court quick. Drives all himself. Off the glass too hard. Wilson with the rebound. Gets it out to Reed. Reed looking to push. All four cadets are back. Fifth is back now too. Wilson, long three, right up top. Off the iron. Rebound, cadets. Adolphe comes with it. He's bringing it down himself. Met by Roth at the three-point line. Phoebus gets one on the way, and it is going to be a foul underneath. It looks like on Two Hayes on the rebound. It's going to be cadet ball underneath the basket.
Trumbull's got to make sure that they can hold to, the one shot and done, and it hasn't happened so far.
After a couple of errant shots by Phoebus, he's on the bench now for St. Joe's. Ball out top to Black. Black is going to run the offense now. Lamoth on him. He does again, tries to pull up from the foul line, and there's nothing doing. Two Hayes takes the ball down. It's 1-on-3 now. Wilson with the ball at the top of the key. Lamoth, Two Hayes. Three-pointer is good. Immediate timeout by St. Joe's.
Just a really, really improved part of Jaden's game this year. Really kind of was able to stroke it from three all season long. Something that he's really worked on in the offseason, and it's showing here his senior year. It's a big shot from the corner to bring Trumbull within three.
Trumbull is trying to force that game in underneath on them. You can see how hard everyone's fighting for rebounds now. The big catch right now is we haven't had one offensive rebound yet in this quarter, and we've had several outside shots taken. So it's 34-31 St. Joe's, but nobody's crashing the board on the offense, but everybody's happy to throw it up from three at the moment.
Yeah, I think if you're Coach Bernardi right now in the St. Joe's huddle, you're talking a little bit about the need for them to start kind of running some half-court stuff, getting back to what they were doing in the first half as well. Too many kind of one-on-one, quick shot type of things against Trumbull's defense. Again, trying to make them work would probably be better off trying to get that ball swung around a little bit, get that ball moving, and attack like they were in the first half.
Phoebus came down, took three really, really quick shots, and he had Wilson right in his face. One got blocked, the other two were definitely offline, and he's a hard guy to shoot over. So that was a great move there by Coach Bray to make sure that he had the shooter under guard. Well, here we go with St. Joe's, the ball coming up right now, and we have Wilson slowing down Adolphe. Ooh, ball got dropped off, almost intercepted by Reed. Adolphe with the ball in hand on top. Swings it over to Sample. Sample looking for daylight, gets trapped. St. Joe's got the ball down in the corner right now, looking for a skip pass, looking for anything. Swatted away by Two Hayes, kicked around, controlled by St. Joe's. Black has the ball at the top of the key. Reed on him. Moving right, kicks out to the side, and Skyers with another three. Wilson bringing the ball down for Trumbull. Kicks over to Two Hayes. Two Hayes drives, kicks it out to the top, and Reed with a three. Off the iron. Again, no rebounding. Sample over to Adolphe. Adolphe tries to drive right again on Wilson, and he's going to draw the foul.
Adolphe's done a nice job tonight, kind of mixing up his game from his well-known shooting, but he's really been doing a good job putting the ball on the deck and making things happen.
It looks like we have an injury on the floor, so we're going to move away for a second. As you said, Adolphe is known as a shooter, and he is very good with the ball. Tonight, he hasn't really been called on to shoot. He does have two threes tonight, but he's been doing a lot of the ball handling tonight to try and free up Phoebus, who has been on fire for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 5, Phoebus, is on the bench at the moment, but I think they're going to get him back into the game after that little reset from Coach. I look for Trumbull to keep pounding the ball inside, though. I mean, it's 31-37. We've had nothing but three-pointers going on for Trumbull. We don't need that yet. We're not at that point. It's third quarter, 4:29 on the clock.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things too where, big college court like this, I would expect Trumbull to come out either. They could try to pound it inside a little bit. They got to do a little bit better of a post entry by the guards. If they're trying to get into Sean, it can't just be a lob up in the air. Too much athleticism on the other side, against that. But I'd like to see Trumbull really spread the floor here and, try taking these guys off the dribble a little bit all the way into the basket and try to make things happen. But it's got to be out of a spread look instead of something that's all clumped up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the couple of times that we've had Tuhays do that, he is wide open at the rim. No one is even challenging him. And it's coming from that ball movement. And yes, sometimes the three-pointer is open, but if it's not falling, it's time to crash the board again.
Yep.
So
you can see a little bit more out of that of Trumbull too, is trying to crash those offensive boards a little bit, but the spacing is going to be key. If it's clogged up in there, then they're really going to have to space themselves out better to get better drive lines.
All right, so our St. Joe's cadet is up, and he's over to the bench right now. We're going to restart with St. Joe's ball out of bounds on our sideline here on the left-hand side. Score is 37-31, 4:29 here in the third quarter. Sample gets the ball into Skyers. Skyers swings it over to Black. Looking for cutters right now. Phoebus is back on the floor. Phoebus again guarded by Wilson. Black has ball in hand with Lamothe on him. Looking to drive right. Turns around. Papa's shot is good. Back down the floor is Reed with the ball. Looking underneath, trying to find somebody cutting. Wilson with the ball. Back out top to Tuhays. Tuhays swings it over to Roth. Roth back to Reed. Reed looking over to Tuhays. Tuhays three-pointer on the way is good.
Good answer there for Trumbull.
They really took their time. St. Joe's with the ball at midcourt right now. Black still going up against Lamothe. Driving left now, trying to find somebody on the corner. McDonough had the ball for a moment, kicks it back out top. Phoebus with the ball, guarded by Wilson, looking for a pick. Black driving against Lamothe, kicking to the corner. Skyers again. Three-pointer is good, and he's going to the line. Tuhays got a little bit too close. Skyers had nowhere to land, and that's an easy foul call.
Yeah, gotta let him land. Big time defensive mistake there from Trumbull, leaving the ball side corner for an open three. Exactly what St. Joe's wanted to accomplish.
Then he converts his extra shot. Reed's going to bring the ball up now. Trumbull gets set. Reed dribbling around to the right-hand side. Top of the key now, going left. Hands off to Roth. Roth comes around the top. Hands off to Wilson. Wilson drives, elevates. Right hand off the rim. It's going to go off of Trumbull out of bounds.
I like the movement there from Trumbull, though. Really kind of running a half-court set there. Got a ton of movement for Sean to get the ball coming to his left hand. Just couldn't finish inside the paint.
St. Joe's going to bring the ball back up. Sample has the ball in hand. Gets it over to Black. Black looking underneath for McDonough. Gets a pick. Goes left. Up against Lamothe. Gets him in the air. He traveled. And it's going to go Trumbull's way. Great defense by Lamothe, keeping him in front.
St. Joe's has been trying to attack a little bit with Black off the dribble, and he's made some really, really tough shots.
Reed bringing the ball up against Sample. Driving right. Looking left. Gets the ball to Tuhays. Tuhays looking to try and find some space. Back to Reed at the top of the key. Reed drives left. Gets to the lane and lays it in.
A little better spacing there by Trumbull for sure. Gave Josh a chance to kind of find a crack and get through.
Sample with the ball at the top. Swings it to the left wing. Back out to the top to Black. Sample cuts back door. He's met with Lamothe. Phoebus has the ball, swings it over to Sample. Sample hard off the backboard. Reed driving it up. Takes it all the way in. It is off of Trumbull and out of bounds. 1:58 left in the quarter. 43-36.
Tough one
St.
there
Joe's.
for Trumbull. They had a chance there. Just needed a bounce pass for a layup.
Sample hands off to Phoebus. Phoebus looking for a pick, drives left. Wilson still on him, goes to throw it up in the air, travels, and it's going back to Trumbull. That's what happens when you get going too fast.
Yep. You can kind of see that this is not exactly what St. Joe's wants to do. And not that they can't drive, but it's more of a thing where they want to drive to kick.
Reed bringing the ball up, 1:40 on the clock. Moving to the left wing, drives, tries to kick to the corner off of St. Joe's, out of bounds. They'll reset with 1:33 on the clock.
St. Joe's with some really active hands here in the half court all night. A lot of tipped basketballs out of bounds.
And now that they're starting to get open on those drives, they're starting to look to kick for their three-pointers. Wilson, ball in hand, drives, Euro step, rolls it in. Phoebus trying to take Wilson towards the basket. Skipped pass over to Black. Black, three-pointer, and nails it. Wilson bringing the ball back down the court. Pick from the mark, moves right. Skip pass over to the corner. Reed drives baseline, spins, elevates, and he's going to go to the line for two. That one on Bennett underneath.
Black having a really, really big game for the Cadets so far. Trumbull's going to have to find an answer here going into the final quarter to kind of slow him down. He's been doing a great job getting to the basket, and he's also pulled up a couple times, kind of unexpectedly hitting some threes.
First one is good for Reed. And so is the second. St. Joe's bringing the ball up with 56 on the clock. Black with the ball in hand. Guarded by Wilson. Over to Skyer. Skyer's got Bagley on him. Phoebus with the ball with Tuhays on him. Tries to pull up off the iron. Rebound, Tuhays. Big outlet pass to Wilson, and he drops it in and gets hit. He is going to the line for the three-point play.
Long outlet pass to Wilson there. Went up to dunk it, came up a little short, got hit on the wrist, was able to put it in anyways, and he's pretty fired up, stepping to his free throw line. Can cut it to three.
And he makes it count. St. Joe's, 30 seconds on the clock, bringing the ball up. Reed meets Sample over half court. Sample driving right all the way down, feeds underneath on the pass, and it's going to be a charge. Lowered his shoulder, position was had by Trumbull. That was a great take by Trumbull. Roth got hit hard on that one. St. Joe's is going to try and pick up full court. Ball is into Reed, and now the ball is going to be in Wilson's hand. 18 seconds. Wilson with Black on him, looking to drive right, goes left, pulls back for a three with 5 seconds, off the iron. Tracked down by Phoebus. Phoebus with a running floater high off the backboard is no good. All right, we're going to go to Jeff, who I think has Coach Pelletier.
All right, guys, I have Coach Ron Pelletier, the head coach of the Hillcrest Hawks girls basketball team, the defending three-time league champs. Tomorrow, you guys open up with your first playoff game of the season. Tell us what's in store for tomorrow's big first-round playoff game.
Well, Jeff, I got to admit, we're really ready to go. I gave them the day off, as a matter of fact, today, because sometimes you can practice too much. I give these girls a lot of credit. This year's team has worked very hard, and it's always difficult to follow an undefeated season because everybody expects these girls to do the same thing, and that's very difficult to do.
The Trumbull girls team fell a little short in the earlier game, but a whole lot of those players on that team were athletes that you coached. Tell us about some of the girls you watch now that they're Trumbull Eagles.
Well, quite a few of them have passed through the Hillcrest program, and I'm really proud of what they've accomplished so far. A little disappointed today. They really, you can say a lot of things about it. Nobody was shooting foul shots very well for Trumbull tonight, but Cammie Misner played an excellent first half, and Char Manuel definitely carried them the second half. And they're freshmen, so I think Coach Tobish has a lot of talent to work with now and in the future.
Coach, thanks so much, and good luck to the Hillcrest Hawks in the postseason run.
Thanks for your time.
Have a good one, Coach. All right, back to you guys.
All right, as we start off this fourth quarter, it is 46-43 Cadets. They have the ball, reaching foul quick, 2 Hayes on McDonough. Same St. Joe's ball out on the sideline. You know, I think it's going to be a lot of what we just saw at the end of the third quarter. I think Trumbull's got to be taking that ball to the basket and drawing some fouls.
For sure. Trumbull's kind of taking the momentum back a little bit here, right? But St. Joe's still hanging on to that three-point lead.
Phoebus with the ball, driving left right now, down the lane. They're going to get 2 Hayes on the block. It's 2 fouls really quick for 2 Hayes. And it is going to be a 2-shot foul for Phoebus.
You can see St. Joe's purposely kind of going back to 5 right here and trying to get him going again. You know, kind of a little bit of a cold streak there. Coach probably told him, hey, let's try to get to the basket instead of, you know, settling for jump shots all day. And, you know, a good drive there by Phoebus.
Absolutely, and he is one of their top scorers and can score at will when he's hot. His first foul shot was good. Second one coming up now. Lamothe is checked back into the game. And the second one is good as well. Wilson's going to bring the ball up the floor. Skips the ball over to Reed. Reed on the top left wing. Looking for Roth. Hands it off to Roth. Phoebus picks up a quick hand check foul. A little bit of showboating right in front of the referee is not going to win him any points as he's being talked to right now about his attitude. And coach immediately pulls him from the game. Immediately. And tells him to have a seat. Ball in for Trumbull on the sideline. Into the backcourt goes Wilson for it. Gets it over to Roth. Roth, open air, shot on the way, off the iron. Bagley, big rebound. Thought about going up with it, finds Wilson, and a dunk with Wilson.
Massive two-handed flush there on the nice cut by Wilson.
As soon as Bagley saw him cutting, that was an easy choice. Black with the ball, hands off to Sample. Sample looking for daylight. Sample has Reed right in his pocket. Black with the ball now, Wilson is on him. Cutting through is Adolphi. We see Black driving left, and he travels again. Great defense by Wilson to keep him in front.
Kind of goes back to one of those things. You kind of go to the well one too many times. St. Joe's will really settle down, run some offense.
Reed bringing the ball up now, trying to find some space. Gets it over to Roth in the corner. Back to Lamothe. Back to Reed at the top of the key. Bagley on the wing. Back to Reed at the top of the key. Driving right. Finds daylight. Floater off the rim too hard. St. Joe's comes away with a long outlet pass. Gets it down to Black. Black trying to find space with Wilson, and Wilson blocks him. He gets it back and puts it in for 2. Wilson with the ball coming down against Black. Gets it over to Reed. Reed on the right wing. Finds Roth coming around the top. Reed, three-pointer, off the mark. St. Joe's comes down with it. 50-45, St. Joe's. 6:10 left on the clock. Adolphi driving right. Meets Lamothe. Lamothe blocks the ball. Out of bounds off of St. Joe's. Trumbull ball.
Trumbull with a nice defensive stop there. Nice slide. It gave out of the secondary defenders. Got the ball to land on St. Joe's when they're standing out of bounds.
Hayes with ball in hand right now, looking to try and get the ball inside to Wilson. Over to Bagley. Lob into Wilson. Wilson's going up, and he gets another two.
Really nice entry pass right there.
Black has his pocket picked by Lamothe. Ball's on the ground. Roth comes up with a foul on Adolphi.
Bodies all over the place. A lot of physical play, getting on the ground, getting after it.
Roth, Bagley, Lamothe, they were all fighting tough for that ball, creating that turnover. Ball out of bounds right here in front of us. Hayes going to bring the ball up the court. It is 50-47. Quickly over to Wilson. Three-pointer on the way. Short. Gets his own rebound. Taken away by Black. Black's looking to push. Black has McDonough on his right. McDonough looking to take the three. And he nails it. Hayes drives. Kicks over to Bagley. Bagley thinks about three. Pulls it down. Roth thinks about it. Fakes. Drives the lane. Gets a two to fall. Black with ball in hand, trying to find Adolphi, who's running all over the court. Roth is right on him. Driving left is Black. Wilson standing in front of him. Bagley with the rebound. Hayes looking to outlet pass. Brings it up himself. Drives the lane. Going to the basket. And it's good. Slides all the way into the stands.
Jaden can be really slippery. Got all the way to the basket there. Blew the defender away off the dribble.
Sample with the ball at the top, looking for a pick here. Still has Hayes on, gets another pick from McDonough, gets a shot off. Goes over the backboard, no rebound, it is all Wilson's ball. Wilson all the way down to the corner, quickly. Gets it back from Hayes for another basket. St. Joe's calls timeout. 53-53, 4:05 in the fourth quarter.
St. Joe's really struggling there in the defensive transition for sure. Trumbull was able to get the ball up the sideline there, and somebody lost Sean Wilson on a lane cut right down the middle for an easy two. We got a tie game here with 4:05 left. Tremendous.
You know, Trumbull has gone back to that strong athletic play. Now their defense has shown up. They are getting stops, they are getting outlet passes, and they are getting to the rim. That has always been their game that I've seen. Yes, they can shoot the three, but when it goes cold, it's time to go right back to the hoop.
You're seeing a little bit of quick trigger action a little bit from St. Joe's. They might want to be getting to a little bit more of a set and make Trumbull really defend through multiple screens, take a bunch of the shot clock off that game clock, and really kind of slow it down a little bit, make sure they get the best look they possibly can.
You know, although the scoring has been primarily Wilson, Reed, and Hayes, the work that the guys are putting in under the basket is amazing. Bagley's coming away with a bunch of rebounds. You have Lamothe coming away with some great defensive stops and rebounds. Those guys are back out on the floor. We've got Roth, we've got Hayes, we've got Bagley, Lamothe, and Wilson. St. Joe's with the ball. It is 53-53.
Brand new game here with 4:05 left.
Trumbull's going to pick up at half court. Sample with the ball. On Hayes on him. Hand off to Phoebus. Ball's in Black's hand. Back over to Phoebus. Phoebus drives. Gets past Lamothe. Wilson will bring the ball back up.
Big time answer right there from Phoebus. Getting to the rim.
Hayes with the ball on the right wing. Bagley on the wing. Gets it down underneath to Wilson. Wilson changes directions in the air for another two.
If Wilson gets you that deep on the block, it's going to be bad for the defense.
Out top, we have Phoebus and Sample with Bagley taking them both. Black has got Wilson on him. He's looking for some kind of drive. Gets the ball back to Sample. Sample with 2 Hayes on him. Phoebus is blanketed by Bagley right now. Black with Wilson on him, looking to drive. He's got a pick left, pulls up, foot on the line, off the iron, and it's going the other way. Trumbull ball tipped out by Adolphi.
Coach Bernardi for St. Joe's not happy with that shot selection right there at all from Joe's in a tie game with 3 minutes left.
2 Hayes going to slow it up now. They're going to look to reset. They've had a ton of success just going underneath to Wilson. Look for more of the same. Reed, lob to Wilson. Wilson turns, fires off the iron. This time they crash the boards. McDonough comes away with it. Phoebus has got the ball in hand. He's a hot shooter. He is looking to go past Reed. Reed has got him. Still looking to go by. Hasn't found it. Sample comes around. Sample's got Wilson on him. Coach is yelling at him to get it back in Phoebus' hand. Phoebus is trying to set the offense here. Looking for a pick right. Gets them off, but he's got Reed right back on him. Pick left. He's driving left. Flips it into the middle. Too hard. Rebound Lamar. 2 Hayes looking up the court. Great look underneath. 2 Hayes finds Roth, and Roth gets the 2.
Just a tremendous look right there with his eyes up by Jaden to find him on that other block.
Phoebus drives left. Met again quickly by Reed. Tries to pull up from deep. Off the iron. Rebound Wilson. Wilson's got ball in hand. Getting it up the court to 2 Hayes. 2 Hayes is pushing it. Pulls it back out to reset. 57-55 Trumbull. 1:45 on the clock. 2 Hayes with Black on him. Sets the offense up. Looking left right now. He's got Lamoth over there. Setting a pick. It's going to be timeout Trumbull. 1:36 on the clock. 57-55 Trumbull.
I think this is a great timeout by Coach Bray right here. I think you saw that we're a little bit discombobulated. You got a 2-point lead here. You want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, getting the best shot we possibly can, and not settling for a jumper or a bad shot, just kind of in general. Make sure we come out here and get the shot that Trumbull wants, especially up 2 with 1:36 left.
These teams have been battling the entire way. Suddenly, Trumbull's defense has gotten their feet in front of them. They got a couple of great charge calls. They got a couple of great defensive stops just by making sure they're in the right position. A couple of blocks, a couple of takeaways on the floor. That's all it takes in a game like this. And it got the gym loud. By the time we got to that 2-handed dunk, it was already turning in Trumbull's way.
For sure. We talked a little about the importance of rebounding the ball. Trumbull's not a really big team, doesn't have a ton of size, but so they have to really kind of get scrappy and get after it. And they've really done a great job in the last 2.5 minutes, keeping St. Joe's to 1 shot and done, and controlling the possession back the other way.
All right, so we're going to break our huddles right now. It is 57-55 Trumbull. 1:36 on the clock. Trumbull has the ball. They are playing matchup man-to-man right now.
17 seconds on the shot clock here.
Reed breaks across the court, has ball in hand. He has Sample right on him. St. Joe's has extended their defense to try and slow them down. 2 Hayes breaking towards the net. Elevates off the backboard. Great play by Wilson, and then Roth. Ball is back in 2 Hayes' hands, out at the top. I cannot even describe the athleticism of that rebound. 2 Hayes breaks right, drives the lane, gets tripped up by St. Joe's. Ball's rolling. Phoebus bringing it down the middle. Slowed down. Adolphi 3 off the iron. Reed has the ball. Breaks it out. Gets it down to 2 Hayes. Lobs it up. Wilson's got it in hand. Going up again, and he's going to go to the line for 2. Wilson smartly slowed himself down, took that ball down, and drew contact on the way back up. Could have been an alley-oop that would have sent this place in a frenzy, but smart play. It just wasn't there. Yep. Great job to slow that down.
Ton of poise and composure from one of your senior captains right there. Under control, got the guy up in the air, knew he could go right through that contact.
First foul shot is good. 58-55 Trumbull. 55 seconds on the clock. Second shot on the way is good. Phoebus has the ball on the right wing. He's looking for a pick from McDonough across the middle. He goes left. He's got Reed right on him. Blanketed. We have Tuhays shutting down Sample. Sample pulls up. Rebound, Tuhays gets hit from behind by Phoebus. 34 seconds left on the clock. Tuhays controlled that ball. It's Trumbull ball still on the baseline, 59-55.
Not in the bonus here, so you're going to see St. Joe's pick up some full court pressure. Trumbull, very senior led. He's got to handle the ball real well here down the stretch.
Wilson has ball on the end line, looking to inbound, gets it to Roth. Roth skip pass all the way to Tuhays. Tuhays cuts back to the middle, gets it over to Reed on the left wing. Reed gets fouled immediately, 26.8 on the clock.
Really good look there by Trumbull, skipping the ball against the press. Really nice look.
Looks like we're waiting for foul shots at the moment. No timeout yet, trying to decide whether or not it's the team fifth foul. 59-55, Trumbull, 26.8 on the clock. Both coaches regrouping, trying to figure out what their next steps are. It is a two-shot foul, so we have Reed going to the line. Referees trying to get St. Joe's out of their impromptu timeout.
I think he fouled out of the game there. Adolphe might have fouled out.
Adolphe could have fouled out. All right, we have them lining up on the key. Reed shooting two. 59-55 Trumbull. First one is good. (60-55). Second shot is good. St. Joe's trying to gather as much clock as they can. Trumbull picks him up at half court. Sample with the ball in hand, looking for a pick from McDonough. Drives right, open air around Lamoth. Lamoth fouls him before he can get to the hoop. So that will be on the ground, and they will have the ball out of bounds underneath. 17.1 on the clock. Smart foul by Lamoth. Sample with the ball in hand, trying to get the ball inbounds. Can't find anyone available. Phoebus with the ball in hand, fires one up. It falls. Three-pointer is good. And immediately, St. Joe's calls a timeout.
Phoebus with just an incredible step-back three in front of their bench to cut the lead down and give them a chance.
61-58.
For sure, and they're inbound. You got to protect the ball. You know that foul is coming fast.
Absolutely. It is, I mean, you heard the crowd. They started it just a touch too early. You never want to start the bus then. You still have that much time on the clock. Well, right now we're at 13.4. Trumbull 61, St. Joe's 58. You know that Coach Bray is preparing them for that immediate foul.
So you're going to see this full quarter face guard here by St. Joe's most likely, and Trumbull needs to remember they can run the baselines and make sure they can kind of free up the hands of the inbounder. Most important thing is they got to get the ball in. Can't take a 5-second count here. Got to get the ball in and get fouled.
Absolutely. So we're going to switch up our inbounder here. Tuhays has the ball, trying to inbound. We have Roth, we have Wilson, we have Reed, and we have Lamont. Tuhays with the ball in hand. Gets the ball to Wilson. Gets the ball back to Tuhays. Tuhays dribbling it out. Gets fouled, 10 seconds on the clock.
So St. Joe's went for the quick double there. We tried to force that turnover with the double and then foul on that first pass out of it.
Smart, quick pass there by Wilson. Hayes, first foul shot on the way. Is short.
Obviously, one foul shot makes this incredibly difficult on St. Joe. So this is a big one here for sure to try to put it to 4.
Is good on the second one. St. Joe's quick inbound. Sample with the ball in hand, trying to force the issue up the court. Finds Phoebus. Phoebus ball in hand, looking for daylight. He's got Reed on him. Flings it into nowhere. Caught by Roth. Game over. Wilson takes the ball. Celebratory dunk. And they go shake hands with St. Joe's. What an ending to the game. The boys came up big from Trumbull, fought hard on both sides, mutual respect all over the place in that line over there. The guys hugging each other. They know they both fought to the end. 62-58 is our final score. What a barn burner we had.
Yeah, it was an awesome game to see and be a part of. You know, I think one of the things that you see is, you know, just Trumbull's experience really kind of showing there, and their senior leadership and not being, you know.
All right, guys, I got Sean Wilson here.
Senior leadership.
One heck of a second half and one heck of a game. What did you guys do in the fourth quarter to get control and get the win?
We just had to lock in on defense, have trust in our guys to make the next shot, and just have that next play mentality. Some plays didn't go our way, but we can't sit and pout. We have to just work on the next play, just have faith, have grit, and just grind through these plays to get the W.
You heard it from the human high right, Leo. Sean, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way. Guys, let me see if I can get Coach Bray.
Absolutely.
Coach. All right, I got Coach Bray. Coach, one heck of an ending. What did you guys do in that fourth quarter, even the last couple minutes, to just get control and pull ahead?
Well, credit St. Joe's. I mean, they were making shots. We just stepped up the defense a little bit, and Sean made some big plays. We got some contributions. It was just a real gritty win, gutty win,
Good luck the rest of the way. I know you got some other games left, but good luck as you guys close out the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, we got both of them. Back to you.
What can you say? Sean definitely took over the end of that game, but as we've been talking about, they went back to strong, hard-nosed basketball.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think you saw that kind of senior leadership and a ton of poise and composure by Trumbull. Would have been easy to really panic in front of a big crowd here, being down most of the game like they have, but they really kind of stuck their foot in the ground and said, this is the defense we're going to play, and forced a lot of kind of quick, kind of off-balance shots there, and especially in the fourth quarter that got St. Joe's in a little bit of trouble for sure.
One of the things that I think about postseason teams or teams that are going to make a push into the postseason and play well, when your back is against the wall, you find a way to win, and that's exactly what Trumbull and Sean Wilson did tonight. Their back was back against the wall multiple times by a whole bunch of points at some times, and they found a way to pull it off at the end.
Absolutely. You look to your senior leadership, you get that gut check, and everybody digs in, and the defense dug in. I mean, incredible plays from Bagley, from Roth, from Lamoth, who weren't lighting up the score sheet, but man, were they doing it on defense. They stopped the offense from getting their shots. They made sure that they drew the charge. They picked off a couple of balls in between, and that's what you need. You need big plays from all of your role players, and let your senior guards and your studs go get the points in the end.
All right, so 62-58, a 4-point win for your Trumbull Eagles, as I'm trying to make my way back over to the control panel over here. Guys, the first game didn't exactly go the way that we wanted, but the second game, absolutely, you couldn't ask for a more exciting game than that. Any quick final thoughts before we sign off here?
Yeah, just one of those, another great FCA basketball game, something you would expect from two, incredible rivals that are in the same town, and it was just an outstanding game to watch, kind of back and forth, and sometimes the best player on the floor takes things into his hands, and that's what we saw from Trumbull tonight from Wilson.
Absolutely, the human highlight reel.
And as we've seen, it doesn't matter what the box score says coming in. It doesn't matter what your record is coming in. When you're playing in this game, all bets are off. It is a rivalry game, and it was again tonight. Trumbull came out on top this time. Last year we saw St. Joe's do this to us. So this was a little bit of revenge for us. Great job by the boys getting it done, and Coach kept them settled right through the last point.
All right, so final score here from the Pitt Center at Sacred Heart. Trumbull takes down St. Joe's 62-58 for C.J. Emanuelson and Brendan Moore. This is Jeff Alderman signing off on 10 and TCTV. Have a good night, everybody.
This is the Trumbull Eagle Network.